that in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
And now it's time for the voice.
Don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I want you to get up right now.
Go to the window,
Open it.
stick your head out and yell,
Hated man! Top of the world!
The Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been anything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Like Mussolini.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Voice of Ocala on a Thursday. Going to be a busy day today. Coming up on the program today, City Council President John McLeod will join us in just a couple of moments. Jeff Halcomb, the guy I like to call the water czar.
So Urban Meyer will be here today, huh?
Urban's brother, twin brother. Our Schofel from the Tallahassee Democrat will give us his wrap on the Florida State Seminoles National Championship undefeated season. Vance Beard will top it off after that, and I'll talk to you about last night's basketball game. Went up last night, and I got to tell you what it looks like up close and personal, what it feels like in the O-Dome. Not one and the same. A little different experience than what I expected. So before I get started with John McLeod, the president of the City Council, honestly, I went out and got my flu shot today. And I got my pneumonia shot today. I'm not sure how many years it's been since I've had it. Some say 5, some say 10. The nurse said, it won't hurt you. So I said, give me the pneumonia shot too. So I got that done. Here's why. This story was a shocker to me today. Alice Jones and her husband, Daryl, both in college and raising 3 children, got sick with the flu on Thursday. By Monday, Alice, 29, the aspiring Dallas nurse, was dead. Daryl Jones, a criminal justice student who had served in the U.S. Army in Afghanistan for nearly a year, said he and his children are so devastated they can't stay in their house and are temporarily living with relatives. I made it through Afghanistan and thought we'd move on with our lives, said Jones. He turned 27 the day before his wife died. I was thinking that was the most dangerous part of our marriage. Neither Jones nor his wife had gotten the flu shots this year. So, you may have a political reason or another view. Some people don't believe in shots. I understand, that's fine. But to me, if there's a pretty good chance it's going to prevent me from having flu, which is, this strain is brutal apparently. A lot of younger people are getting hit by it. I'm going for the shot, which I did last year and the year before. So I'm in on that deal. So I just want to say, if you believe in the flu shot, don't wait. It takes a week for it to kick in. Don't wait around. Go get it now, and you might ask your nurse or doctor about the pneumonia.
Can't you get the flu shot from the flu? Can't you get the flu from the flu shot?
No. I mean, they give you the flu. That's what the flu shot is.
It's the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
see, that's why. Yeah, that to me
okay.
sounds like,
Well, then,
hey, to avoid a right hook, lean into the right hook.
You know what? If that's how you feel, don't get it. But I got mine, and I'm looking out for you because I'm not going to get the flu and give it to you, just in case you want to know. All right.
Okay. Well,
all right.
Let's just make sure you don't.
All right. Let's go. Let's go with some good news for a change. John McLeod's with us, and by the way, congratulations! You guys approved the 30-year lease on the Ocala Symphony Orchestra for $1. Finally, somebody did something that they can't criticize. Nice going. Hi, John McLeod. How you doing?
Oh, thank you, buddy. It's exciting to have the symphony on board and the old Armory building down there. That's going to be great.
Yeah, it's the Armory or the auditorium?
Auditorium, excuse me.
Because the reason I asked is last night, driving back for the Gator game with my wife and Sue Griner, my wife said, is that the building? We were coming behind on that street right there, which is, what is that, 11th, whatever that is. It used to be Victoria back in the day. Right behind the old Armory. My wife said, is that the auditorium? I said, no, it's across the street here. You've been to it for class reunions and stuff. It's the auditorium. So that's one of those projects that's not going to have any controversy associated with it.
It's just a great organization. And, growing up, I mean, I know that, the elder people, they went to dances and things there. And
yes,
my generation
your father did.
Yeah, and I did.
Yeah.
And my generation did. We had our prom there, junior prom there. So it's special to all of us here in Ocala, and to have some organization that's going to take care of it and do the right things. And, we had to play a big role, but so did they. They had to come up with several $1 million.
Well, there's a lot of money that the private sector raised on that deal.
Yeah,
a lot of money. Congratulations to that whole team. I know Beth McCall was one. There were lots of people who were doing all that stuff, and that whole group did a great job of raising money for that. That was a wonderful situation, which maybe that's what we have to do around here these days, is just raise private funds and not worry about it. And those that want to take part in it, don't get me started today.
That's a good private-public partnership, and another example of success that you can have if you do it right.
Yeah. I don't want to dwell on this subject today because we've dwelled on it a lot, but it's still out there and still a lot of fallout from it. But, you played a part in this in the sense that you were part of the city council that voted for the Yankee Proposition Homeland Project to be presented by to the county commission, and you were the messenger. Some of those guys left you, and he left you with the deal to go over there and tell them that the Yankees had asked to delay this vote, and you did that. And I went through this with the mayor yesterday to get it technically right. So why don't you give us the exact steps of what happened? I know the Yankees asked to pull it back, and the council voted to do that or agreed to do that, and then the president, Mrs. Yu, was sent to the county commission to ask them, and they said yes. So walk me through that procedure so I've got it right.
Well, we received the letter from the Yankees, and procedurally we have to, council has to take a vote to suspend the agreement, and then council has to give me the authority to go over and make a formal presentation to the county commission, and that's fairly typical for the president to go over and do that. And I was the guy that just happened to be president during this time, and so
thanks a lot for giving the hot potato to me, right?
Yeah, it's
I understand.
At the end of the day, I don't have a problem going over and talking to them, and basically what I told them is that we were asking them to just not take action on the two ordinances that they had proposed. So really, what I said to them was very minor, but procedural, absolutely. And we still respect what the county commission has to say, and we don't always agree with them 100%, but we always will respect their decisions and go on and to the next thing.
All right. Now I have to ask this because this is the final part of this part two. Where does the project stand as far as you can see right now, given that?
Well, we're still looking at alternative funding options.
Okay.
And there's some out there. And
genuinely looking, and there's some possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They haven't heard a lot about that.
Well, the mayor popped up with
the mayor did.
Mayor popped up with one.
I know about his, but I just wondered if anybody else is talking about it.
Yeah, and that's something that really needs to be explored because it made a great deal of sense. But it's a little bit beyond my pay grade, so we have to do a little investigation by our, do our background and do all that and see if we can come up with something. And, if so, it gives us a possibility to do something. But
well, you and your brother and David Ellsper and a few people could get in there and figure all that out, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. As for the different taxes and the different ways to fund it, whether we were to, possibly use proceeds from this or proceeds from that, ad valorem taxes from this.
Right.
Those things haven't come to fruition yet, so it's kind of hard to use something you don't have.
Right.
And I'm not sure that we would have a clear-cut majority from our city council to do that.
Things have changed, I understand there.
Well,
I've had people tell me on the city council they might not vote for it if they do it over again. I say person told me that. So I don't know what that means, but is the heat gotten that bad? What's the heat like for you?
Well, I've got close friends. I've got family members that some are for and some are against, and
that's a great point. That's a great point.
And the interesting thing is, everybody's got a good point here, and but sometimes when I hear the people that are against it, the things that they're citing, the reasons why they're against it,
just aren't accurate.
Right. A lot of those aren't accurate. Now, the guy that says, I don't think this is a good deal and I don't think it's going to work, I can handle that.
Yeah, no problem.
But, the guy that walks up and says the Yankees are worth X many $1 billion and we're not paying just so a rich guy can have a
And
stadium.
that money should go to school teachers and things like that?
They missed the whole point.
They don't get it.
No,
you know?
they missed the whole point.
Now, I'm like you. I respect everybody's
Sure.
opinion, and I'm okay with people being against it. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to have a little bit of a dialogue so we could get to the bottom of this. But after we go ahead. We take a break, come back. I want to explore that, and I want to ask you about a couple other things. But finish up your point.
Well, what I was going to say is, hindsight being 2020, we should have done a better job. I'm not going to criticize the county commission. They did what they did, and they had their reasons. I can only look at myself and what we did as a council. And hindsight being 2020, we should have been more involved with the CEP going through the process, and we should have been even more involved with the county commission. And we did try to involve them, but even more so, almost to the point of demanding some of their presence during some of the meetings.
All right, I'm going to let you think about these points, and then we're going to come back to them. What do you say to people who say, the CEP is just a bunch of empty suits? Don't respond to that just yet. That's one I heard, okay? What do you say to people who say, you can't take our money. It needs to be used for this or that. Our money, okay? What do you say to those people? And then what do you say to the charge of people who say, you know what? Our community is totally fractured now. We're divided by everything, every barrier known to man, from age to race to ethnicity to economic to political dogma, whatever. And we all have a bunch of special agendas and special interests, and we're broken like Humpty Dumpty with the pieces on the ground. Now, that's a graphic picture I want to paint for you, and let you address those when we come back. And give us John McLeod's thought on them, all right?
I think I could answer the last one the best.
Okay, well, you take any and all those you want to answer.
Okay.
Let's just get your thoughts on it, all right?
All right.
This is what we call dialogue, which I wish we'd had a chance to have a little more on the baseball stadium. All right, John McLeod, President of the City Council, joins us. He'll be with us one more segment, and he's got to go do something important besides this show. And then Tom's got pop culture stuff, and we're going to play Fake or Factoid. We just Tom.
Hey, I guarantee I'll win this week.
You will. You absolutely
got.
You're absolutely going to win today for sure. Unless I sneak somebody in here on your last second.
You may.
Stay tuned. What's coming up right here on the program called Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
Is there one or two things that in particular that either or both of you can think of at the holiday time to be more aware of, more alert for, or just everything times 10?
Well, I think it's everything times 10. Anything can take place, and, I think the biggest thing is that when you're coming out of businesses shopping at night, we always recommend that you travel with someone, especially for the ladies that if they're out there by themselves, ask management to walk them out or something. Just make sure that you don't go out by yourself because they're watching. I mean, there's people out there that will watch. And
Predators right there in the parking lot waiting.
And either they're going to grab your purse or they're going to grab your gifts. So you just need to be very cautious. And I highly recommend that you shop with someone. I think it's just so important.
Join us for Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. prestige. It's all there in our name.
This is James Snyder inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy, right here on WOCA 1370.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
When people were asked to choose between a bunch of items, they had less stamina and did worse on mental tests afterward. So the fix? Try and go with your gut. What is the top indicator that you will weigh more in 5 years? It's being on a diet today. You want a quick immune booster? Eat more shellfish. I do. It's because it contains selenium and zinc, nutrients that can cut the time you struggle with a cold or the flu by nearly 1/2.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. Today will be mostly cloudy with a couple of showers, high 68 to 72. Cloudy and mild tonight with a shower or two. Patchy fog will develop late tonight and last into tomorrow morning, though tonight 60 to 64. Later tomorrow becoming partly sunny and warmer with a stray shower, the high 78 to 82. And for Saturday, clouds, some sun, breezy and warm with a shower and thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 77 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
WWWWOCA,
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
You're listening to WOCA, Ocala.
All right, coming up shortly, Jeff Halcomb will give us a water update. Ira Schofel from the Tallahassee Democrat talking about the Seminoles National Championship. Franz Beard tells us what's going on in Gainesville. Gator basketball team wins its 24th in a row at home last night. I'll give you my take on that, what it looked like up close and personal. In the studio with us, the president of City Council, John McLeod. John, let me read you something. I just got this. It's a petition. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie's office has been exposed for creating a traffic jam this past September in order to keep voters from the polls to vote for Fort Lee Mayor Mark Sokolich. Emails recently surfaced that proved this was a coordinated effort with no regard for public safety from the governor's office. This sounds like a movie script, but it's not, and it's serious. It goes on to say, please join me in calling the New Jersey State Assembly to bring up impeachment charges against Chris Christie. They kind of want to impeach. He was like the darling of the Republican Party almost, and now they want to impeach him. And by the way, I just saw his press conference. It went on for 108 minutes. I saw most of it. I got no doubt the guy's telling the truth. He didn't know this was going on. It can happen to you, can it?
Oh, sure it can. I mean, just even at a city level, I don't know what all's going on, with the staff that we have. And for the governor of the state of New Jersey to know everything that's going on, that's impossible.
His chief of staff, however, did
his chief. But that doesn't mean head shouldn't roll because of it.
No, and it did.
Yeah,
and she's gone. They're gone.
They fired him. Okay.
And his statement was, "Aren't you going to find out what she said?" He said, "No. All I need to know was she lied to me." When I asked her, she said, "No, that's all I need to know. She's gone."
Well, then he did the right thing, and it's unfortunate that happened. But sometimes those type of things happen, and you just have to do your best to deal with it when it does.
Yeah. Before the break, I asked you several questions, some mostly rhetorical, about our city and about what people are saying about it, and you mentioned something about your family members disagreeing. I know people who are outstanding Ocala people that I would say are among the best at what they do, and the people that I think are the world of are going at, like, I hate to use this analogy, like the Civil War, who really are it's getting really kind of ugly out there. I mean, good people fighting each other, which led me to think about this whole issue of this image of our fractured community, about Humpty Dumpty falling down and breaking into pieces. And each piece represents a special interest group, and having to pull it back together again with all the king's horses and all the king's men, they couldn't do it. So who is the person that's going to pick it up and put it together? And Am I really that far off with this analogy?
Well, I don't think you're that far off with the analogy, but that's America. That's your right to have a different view. And we get in and we hash it out, and sometimes at the end of the day, just from a city council standpoint, it may not be a 5-0 vote. It may be a 3-2, and you may or may not get your way. But again, at the end, you've got to pick it up and go on. And different views only make us better.
I have no problem with different views. I think that is America. Debate is what we need to have. Mm-hmm. We need to have two parties, and we need to disagree. I don't want Washington gridlock in my local community, however. And here's the other thing: the motivation for having this position, the special interests that I know of and you know of people who have. I've been accused of having a special interest. I got zero to gain, except as a private citizen if the Yankees come here. Zero.
Well, I do have one issue though. I don't think you're if you're in local politics, whether it's or city or county, I don't think you should be swayed by the platform of what's going on in the rest of the country. I think we ought to try to keep it here local and to our politics. And some of those things that people bring into, whether they don't really to our meeting as much, some of them they bring into the county commission meeting, they really don't have any place in a county commission meeting. That's somebody looking for a forum for federal government, and that's not federal government, that's county government.
Yeah, all politics are local to me anyway, but I think you're right. I think the big thing is here is, and I'm not even talking about just the county commission. I mean, who have been demonized, and I've thrown a lot of mud on them, by the way, myself. Let me just say that. I know they're in a tough position because there are big dollars involved in lots of their decisions. Mm-hmm. The criticism, and I'm talking about what I hear in the community now, from people from all sides, by the way, not one group. I don't have one group that I talk to, from all sides. Some people, the most common thing I hear about the county commissioners, they can believe it or not, is that they are perceived as wanting job security, that's the most important thing no matter what. I don't think that's completely true, at least of one person I know on the county commission, maybe even two, but I don't know the others that well. But that's the perception of a lot of people on county commissioners saying, I'm not going to rock the boat. I'm going to keep my $80,000 a year job. I doubt that influences you too much, considering your high standard of living on what you're making from the city. Is it 200 or 300? I forget a month.
It's $250.
$250. Okay.
I'm the president now.
Oh wow! You forgot.
They give him $50 more a month.
Oh, okay. Well, you're buying next time.
Well, that's the perception of politics. Whether you're in county, state, whether you're a senator or representative or congressman, whatever the heck you are, everyone thinks that. You're just trying to get reelected to keep your job and so forth and so on. And there's probably some truth to that. But at the end of the day, most of the folks, at least locally, they try to do the right thing based on what they think, and it may be different than what I think, but they are trying to do the right thing.
77,000 good reasons to stay as a county commissioner, in my estimation.
Yeah, but you can't please everybody. They know that, and so they make just as hard of decisions as anybody else does.
Sometimes, John, I think you only have to make the people who go to the polling booths happy.
John, I know you got to go. I don't want to tie you up here a couple more minutes, but this is a point that was made by Brad Rogers. Now, Brad gets treated like a piñata by a lot of people I know too, who get angry at him and say he's that he's too liberal, he's too this, or he always wants to spend money on studies. I had somebody today raking him over the coals to me about it. And I'm sure they do the same for me. Although I'm not that significant in the community, I'm just a little guy at a little radio show with 5 listeners compared to everybody else.
We have 7, by the way.
Oh, that's good. We're climbing in the polls. And so I heard a guy say to me today, said, well, Brad, he's just always got this radical ideas. Brad said something that resonated last Friday when we were at the Marion Theater, downtown Ocala, trying to promote the football game being played Monday, and Brad said, I'm so sick and tired of people being against everything. Can't we be for something? And that's why when I started that off the program, I brought up the auditorium. An example of what happens when people are for something. Now, it didn't involve the T word. There was no taxes involved. That's fine. But when you get the T word up there, the issue becomes this, and you know this, that tax dollars, people think they're entitled to have them for their projects. I don't have kids in school or grandchildren in school here, but I understand I have to pay school taxes. There are people who come here and live here and drive our roads and use our facilities and never contribute a dime to the economy, That's just the way life is, okay? But in my opinion, when you say we don't want that because we want this, why isn't there room enough for everybody's dream here? I don't mean extravagance. I mean, this is not my money to go to the hospital or my money to give to Chris at the sheriff's department, Chris Bear, or my money to whatever, do the schools. This is our money. Our money. How we divide it is what the public debate is about.
Yeah, when I hear you say those things, I think people get really frustrated when they see government, and when you look from the outside and you see what is perceived, and there is a lot of waste. But that being said, let's use studies for a prime example, because studies seem to be the big evil, and I don't like them myself half the time because they're ridiculously expensive and for what you get. But you have to have them on certain things. You don't have a choice. And that's what people, they see us spend $100,000 to do a road study. Well, they think, well, that's just a waste of money. We know we got to have a road there. Why do you got to have a study? Well, you can't get the DOT funds if you don't have the study.
You got to justify it.
Yeah, right. And so people see that and they don't understand exactly why that is, and they just perceive it as being pure waste. And they get frustrated and they just don't understand. So when people see taxes, they're thinking, well, why are we giving you more money that you're just going to waste? And hey, I can't blame them for saying that. I've said the same thing. But
do you have a different view now that you're in politics? How is this, 2 years for you?
2.5.
Yeah, so different view?
A little over 2. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just more difficult. The rules that surround our government and what we can and can't do with the funds that we have.
You have limits. You can't spend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't spend sales tax on salaries. For
let's use the school board for example. They've got that money that they can only use for building schools.
Right. And can't go to the teachers.
They can't use it for redoing old schools.
And yet people don't seem to understand that.
No, they don't. And they, a CEO of a big corporation they all want to come in and fix government, and then to get in there and they can't do it because the rules don't let them.
Tom McLeod, I promise to get you out of here. It's 1 minute to go. Thank you for coming by the show. Good luck on your tenure as the president. Is it called President Pro Tem? No, President.
It is President. Pro Tem is Mr. Mussley.
Oh, that's right. The next one in line.
Yes.
Okay.
And we kind of do it a little different than county commission. We do have a succession, but it's not bad. You just do your job and hope for the best. And no matter how fractured you think we are in this country, just take 5 minutes or 10 minutes, turn on the news tonight, watch around the world, and you come back and tell me if we're more fractured than the rest of the world.
A lot more fractures elsewhere, huh?
Yeah. They shoot people in other countries. We just argue.
I just love my city and my county and I want to see I want the best for it, as I'm sure a lot of other people do too. I just have the highest hopes for this area and this county and this city, and I want us to be able to achieve together the things that are possible. And I hope somebody rises up to pick up those pieces of the egg, Humpty Dumpty, and put them back together so we can have a community that cares about the greater good. Because the number one lobbyist we need is somebody who is going to show special interest toward the greater good of the most people. Isn't that what Jefferson said, basically what democracy was?
And I think we can get there.
All right, John, appreciate it. John McLeod, president of the city council. Appreciate it. Take a break, come back. Tom is going to play by himself, unless he finds somebody to help him. We're going to play Fake or Factoid. Tom's got some pop culture and lots more surprises coming your way. 4 o'clock, Jeff Halcomb. So stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor. So including those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of 2 study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Rinstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Rinstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. Listen to the Voice of Ocala right here weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get this stupid document notarized.
Well, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
Hi, this is Joe from Damage Control Services. Join me Tuesdays at 10:30 when we discuss what to do when your property gets damaged, how to fix it fast, and get back on track. At Damage Control, we specialize in helping home and business owners recover from damage caused by floods, fires, storms, tree damage, mold, and all other insurance-related disasters. So when disaster strikes, big or small, call Damage Control Services. Call me 352-817-6574.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA News Center with this news update brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. A sinkhole opened up Wednesday night on Northeast 36th Avenue and forced traffic to be detoured around the affected area, according to City of Ocala officials. Pamela Calero, a spokesman for the city, estimated the width of the whole sinkhole to be the size of a manhole and its depth at around 20 feet. Calero said the hole opened up sometime last night in the 1900 block of Northeast 36th Avenue, and crews are working to fill the hole. Due to the amount of moisture, it will take several days before repairs can be complete. This news update was brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Join Angie weekly as she joins Buddy for her Biz Buzz or Good Neighbor Award.
We thought we were going to have a walkover because somebody was here to play against Tom. He was automatically going to win
By
Fake
the
or
way,
Factoid.
nobody's still here to play.
Yeah, right, yeah. So want to turn this mic on?
No, that's what I'm saying.
We have a rookie over there.
I see. That's how it's going to be.
His mic's not on. He can't play.
Just remember one thing. Who bailed you out, by the way, on Tuesday? So just remember that, okay? So, Dan Martone. There you go. He joined. You guys ready to play?
All right, let's do this.
Okay, you know the rules. Fake or Factoid. Give us some fact music, Tom. Oh, for JJ.
That's good music, though. I like
it's not the right one, though.
Not
So
the
we,
right-
have,
oh,
we
okay.
have certain music, Dan, for segments.
Oh,
that
I
we
got you.
play.
I see.
And when our professionals are here, we get it. You know. Okay. Here we go. True or false? Elvis Presley, who, by the way, would have been whatever he was, 78, was it? Or 70? Yes, would have been 70 yesterday. Was introduced to heroin by Jimi Hendrix.
I'll go with true.
Yeah, I'll go with true. That sounds true enough.
He didn't say he did it. He just said he was introduced to it.
You guys want to change?
No.
You want
I'm
to change?
good. I think it's true.
Hear that? Both of you stick with that? Wrong.
Wow.
Fake.
So does it say who he did introduce?
Never said he actually was introduced. Just ask us. Number 2, Bob Dylan introduced the Beatles to marijuana.
False.
That is fact.
Dan says false. No, you say fake. Fake. And Tom says factoid, right?
Fact.
So you're going with it's act. Okay, Tom's right. It's 1-0. And in fact is
They're lying. That's the fact. They knew that before him. They just gave him the blame. Have you heard their songs? I can promise you.
No.
Not my stuff. I don't know where it came
They
from.
met Bob Dylan in 1965, and then their songs changed. Before that, it was "I Want to Hold Your Hand."
Is that what it was?
All right, this is a good question about the workforce. We have to keep this thing moving, fellas. You know, this is not.
Okay.
We don't have time to stop and have debates over it. Got to keep going. Number 3, this is about the workforce. Today, over 5,000 people with PhDs work as janitors in the United States.
True.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, fact.
That's correct.
I'd say a lot more than 5,000.
Well, that's at least 5,000. All right. Number 4. If you take all the water out of an adult human body, it would fill half a bathtub.
True.
Half a bathtub. Yeah, I guess it'd be true.
You're both correct. It is true. Number 5. Dancing has been proven to make you smarter.
True.
True. Yeah, it's part of the arts. I agree with that.
Well, it's just activity, physical activity.
Questions are really, really too easy for you. True. It's fake. It's fact.
Yeah.
Factoid. Now, all right, here we go. We got the mulligan category.
I've missed one. Dan's missed 2.
Yeah. All right, here we go. You can beg yourself out. This is the second round. Glenn Campbell made more money selling guitars than singing songs.
Fact.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. The industry wasn't so solid back then.
You guys sure of that?
Yeah.
You want to change it?
No.
Fake. You both missed it. Dan is out.
I'm out.
He's out. But you can still finish the game.
Oh, okay. How do I do that?
By listening and answering. Tom wins the round, but
It was never in doubt that Tom was going to
See, I was hoping I wouldn't have to go through this. But
you should have given me the answer.
I should have given you the answers. I didn't think fast
game
enough.
show host.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Dr. Dre has made more money from making headphones than he ever did making music.
Fact. Those headphones are $250 to $500 a piece.
They are, but he also produced Eminem, so false.
It's fact. Factoid.
Told you.
God. One more. Brooke Shield made more money hawking blue jeans than acting.
Oh, that's definitely fact.
That's fact.
Yeah. Yeah. No way. That's fake.
Fake.
No.
It's fake.
She's not that great. I mean, she's nice.
All right, here are closest. You guys didn't do so good at the end. Here's the closest to the number game. What percent of people believe in afterlife? Pick a number and see who gets closest.
75.
75.
62.
62. Well, Dan wins that at least. It's 82%. Woo-hoo. There you go. All right. Thank you, Dan Martone.
Thank you, guys.
For nothing, by the way. All right.
By the way, I still won.
Yeah, we got that. Thankfully, you have to run the board. You can't brag.
Are those the answers on your tablet?
No, he didn't know the answers. I can tell you that. Okay, let's talk about Chris Christie real fast, and I'll get out of your hair. You heard about that deal?
Yeah. He said it was retribution for the Democratic mayor who refused to back him.
Yeah, he didn't say it.
No, he didn't say it. His opponents are saying that's why.
Well, give us your thoughts on that.
The mayor of Fort Lee didn't back Chris Christie in his reaching across the aisle, as it were. And so that there was a couple of his aides, his chief of staff and some aides, made a decision to block some roadways to keep it where people couldn't get to. He decided to block some roadways to keep it to where people couldn't get to the election in Fort Lee, to have lower voter turnout, and maybe the Democratic mayor would lose. So they said it was political retribution for him not standing behind the governor when the governor was touting his reaching across the aisle campaign.
Well, it was classic today on his press conference. I really liked what he said and how he said it. I believe what he said. I don't think he knew about it. Now, if he did, he's a great liar, and most politicians are. No offense to my friends locally.
Well, your Democratic friends are right now saying, buddy, he's a Republican. Of course he's a great liar.
But my bottom line is on this is that I don't think he's stupid enough to go up there and say that he knew nothing about it if he did know something. Now, of course, the other party is going to go out and they're going to try to find the emails. They're going to have Bridgegate and all that stuff because he's a threat. He's a threat at the next convention. He's a very attractive candidate because he reaches a lot of people in the middle. He would get Democrats to vote for him.
Well, Glenn Beck today, the show that precedes ours.
Yeah, I've heard that show.
They're not very fond of Chris Christie and think that this may help an actual conservative Republican come out of the crowd to take the banner of the party. But I think for the purpose of running the nation, Chris Christie is not a bad choice.
Yeah. You want to take a break?
Yeah, I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to give you the results of the People's Choice Awards on Pop Culture Thursday right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Here in Florida, when you're looking to go to the beach, you've got hundreds of options. Theme parks, no shortage of options there either. But when it comes to home insurance, most companies have only one option. Allstate is different. Here in Florida, Allstate agents offer home insurance options from several companies, so they can help you get the coverage that's right for you. And they'll help you save on quality car insurance, too. For starters, safe drivers save 45% with Allstate. So before you settle for just one option, talk to someone with many home and car insurance options. Your local Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
For more information, call the McDonald Agency at 352-622-2333 or visit us online at themcdonaldagency.com.
Allstate has no financial responsibility to you for any home insurance policy you purchase and would not be responsible for any claims. Allstate does not make any representations or accept liability related to operations of home insurance companies, including but not limited to their financial conditions. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget, owner of the brand new Proper Tees Salon. It's a perfect time to freshen up your cut and color for the new year. And if you really want to change up your look, talk to us about Hotheads extensions for extra volume and length. How about a blowout for date night? Give us a call. Enjoy some me time while you relax in our newly renovated salon and check in on Facebook using our free Wi-Fi. We know you'll be happy with your new look. We guarantee it. Our style guarantee assures you that no matter what, you will love your hair or we will fix it for free. Call for your appointment today, 352-351-1771. We're located in downtown Ocala next to the Southside Deli. Tell us Buddy sent you for 20% off your first service visit. Now hiring licensed cosmetologists, nail techs, and front desk staff. Visit our website, thepropertees.com, for our online application. The Proper Tees Salon, timeless elegance meets classic sex.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to technician Jim George. He's the owner of American Cable Services, and he'll be telling us what we can look forward to in the future of technology.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
And then John Horvath II will be with us. He's been on ABC News, C-SPAN, Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, and he's written a book called Return to Order: From a Frenzied Economy to an Organic Christian Society.
Join Kelly Fuqua-Hart and her guests on Ocala Magazine Radio.
And then Andrew Campanella is coming on. He's an outspoken advocate for providing all children with access to effective, excellent educational environments. He's going to speak about the 4th annual School Choice Week beginning Sunday, January 26th.
John LaPuma is a board-certified specialist in internal medicine. He'll be speaking about his book, Refuel, a 24-day eating plan to shed fat, boost testosterone, and pump up strength and stamina.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Trauma care centers save thousands of Florida lives.
But Shands UF wants to close Ocala Regional's trauma center.
An out-of-town hospital that receives millions in taxpayer money is suing to shut down Ocala's trauma center. They want to pull the plug on life-saving trauma care all over Florida. Don't let them get away with it. Trauma care increases the chance of survival in traumatic injuries by 25%. 25%.
That's right. But only 2 in 5 Floridians have the access to trauma care they need. And that's not even close to good enough.
We don't need less access to trauma care. We need more.
It's time for Shands UF to stop putting profits ahead of patients.
Stop playing political games.
Visit SaveOurTraumaCenters.org to find out how you can help keep Ocala's Trauma Center open and protect life-saving trauma care. Save more lives. Save our trauma centers. Paid for by the 60 Plus Association.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. On a Pop Culture Thursday, the 40th annual People's Choice Awards were last night. And the winners, some of these categories are a little confusing to me, but I was surprised by some of the winners. Let's go over some of the bigger names. Favorite new talk show host, Queen Latifah was voted the favorite new talk show host of 2013. Favorite daytime TV shows, no surprise here. Ellen DeGeneres beat out Kelly Ripa and Michael Strahan, Dr. Phil, Rachel Ray, and Steve Harvey squeaked in there as favorite daytime TV host, but it went to Ellen DeGeneres. Favorite late night talk show host, that was Stephen Colbert beating out Conan O'Brien, David Letterman, Jimmy Fallon, and Jimmy Kimmel. Then you had favorite actress in a new TV series, Sarah Michelle Gellar for The Crazy Ones, that show with Robin Williams that's new. Favorite actor in a new TV series, Joseph Morgan in The Originals. He beat out Andy Samberg from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Michael J. Fox from The Michael J. Fox Show, and Robin Williams of The Crazy Ones. Favorite comedic TV actress, Kaylee Kuko, no surprise there from The Big Bang Theory. Favorite comedic TV actor, Chris Colfer from Glee. Glee had 2 of the 5 people up for awards, so no surprise there at Glee. Maybe a little surprise that Jim Parsons didn't win it, but I think people are starting to have a little overload on Jim Parsons. He wins so much now. And Neil Patrick Harris, a little surprised in the last year of How I Met Your Mother that he might not have won a People's Choice Award, but because he's been on this show so long, maybe that was why that didn't work. Also, favorite dramatic TV actress up for that award were Juliana Margulies, Mariska Hargitay, Paulie Peretti, Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy, and Stana Katic from Castle. And Stana won it from Castle, one of my favorite shows. Although I'm a big fan of Mariska Hargitay in Law & Order SVU, Juliana Margulies in The Good Wife, and Paulie Peretti in NCIS. Not such a Grey's Anatomy's fan. Surprise, surprise. Favorite dramatic TV actor? I went to Josh Charles of The Good Wife. He plays Will on The Good Wife, and not really a surprise there. He beats out Jim Caviezel of Person of Interest, Kevin Bacon of The Following, Mark Harmon of NCIS, and Patrick Dempsey of Grey's Anatomy. So, favorite cable TV actress went to Lucy Hale of Pretty Little Liars. Favorite TV anti-hero, this one sort of got me. It was Dexter Morgan of Dexter, Jamie Lannister of Game of Thrones, Norman Bates of The Bates Motel, Walter White, Breaking Bad, and Rick Grimes of The Walking Dead. I thought Walter White would probably win this award for Breaking Bad. People's choice was Rick Grimes of The Walking Dead. Shows you just how far zombies have come. Zombies really, really big, in the world right now, in the entertainment world, and it shows by Rick Grimes of The Walking Dead winning Favorite TV anti-hero. Favorite series we missed the most. It was between 30 Rock, Breaking Bad, Dexter, Fringe, and The Office, and Breaking Bad won Going Away. Really wasn't anything. Favorite new TV comedy, The Crazy Ones, The Millers and Mom lost out to Super Fun Night, a show I have not seen, so I couldn't tell you, I guess it's a pretty good show. The people seem to like it. Favorite competition TV show, again, The Voice beats out X Factor, MasterChef, Dancing with the Stars, and America's Got Talent. The Voice it started off as a show that people thought was going to be a gimmick to go up against American Idol, but The Voice is really coming to its own, and I think it's because it's not so much about what somebody looks like as because it's a blind audition. It really relies on their voice. It's not about their commercialability as a person that looks good, because sometimes the people that win American Idol are the people that are most marketable, not the best singers. And eventually The Voice turns into somebody who's marketable as well, but they are originally chosen to compete on the show strictly because of their voice. Whereas they can say it's their voice in American Idol, but those judges, when they hear people sing a cappella at the American Idol auditions, they're also looking to see how, they're thinking how they would dress, how they would look in magazine shoots. So it's a little different. So I'm glad The Voice wins that category. Favorite streaming series. This is a new category. Arrested Development, Between Two Ferns, House of Cards, Losing It with John Stamos, and Orange is the New Black. Because all of these are strictly internet shows. Orange is the New Black takes that movie. America Horror Story won for favorite TV movie or miniseries. Favorite TV crime drama. Seems the crowd agrees with me. Castle beats out Bones, Criminal Minds, The Mentalist, and NCIS. As that one. Favorite network TV comedy, of course, The Big Bang Theory. No surprise there. Beating out Two Broke Girls, Glee, How I Met Your Mother, Modern Family. Favorite network TV drama, Chicago Fire, The Good Wife, Grey's Anatomy, Nashville, and Parenthood. I really like that Nashville made this category, but of course the winner, without any argument from me, Juliana Margulies' The Good Wife. Very, very good show. Favorite TV drama, favorite cable TV drama was Downton Abbey, Pretty Little Liars, Sons of Anarchy, The Walking Dead, and White Collar. And once again, it shows you just how far zombies have advanced, as The Walking Dead takes the People's Choice Awards. And then favorite premium cable TV show, Californication, Game of Thrones, Girls, Homeland, and True Blood. Once again, Homeland takes home the trophy. So there are your People's Choice Awards for 2014. But we didn't get to talk about Sandra Bullock. She cleaned up at the 4th annual. She picked up awards for favorite movie actress, favorite comedic movie actress, favorite dramatic movie actress, and favorite movie duo with Gravity star George Clooney. She really cleaned up for The Heat and Gravity. They were named favorite comedic movie and favorite dramatic movie, respectively. So Sandra Bullock from Hollywood, the movie side of this, really cleaned up at last night's 40th annual People's Choice Awards. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Buddy Martin rejoins us hour 2. Jeff Halcombe's here. He'll get us caught up on all the water around our area. We've had a lot of it today. We'll talk about that next on Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Let me on the ground and fly me in the sky. Show me where to look. Tell me what will I find? What will I find? Yeah.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
This is Austin Tavern reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
Hi, I'm Angie Lewis. Let's talk every Tuesday afternoon on WOCA, the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
96.3
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get the stupid document notarized.
Well, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
It's a hand up. You've probably made money on your home in the last few months, even if you didn't do any work on it. The listing firm Realty Track says the number of houses that were underwater last month dropped by almost 1.5 million. That's where owners owe more on their homes than they're worth. Don't feel bad about using baby talk with your infant. Researchers at the universities of Washington and Connecticut say it isn't so much hearing different words that helps a baby's vocabulary grow. It's hearing a variety of sounds, especially from mom and dad. Europe has had high-speed rail for years, and the U.S. may finally be catching up. The government has given the okay to begin bullet train service between Dallas and Houston. It could travel up to 200 miles an hour. If it works there, it might be expanded across the nation. This is ABC News.
I know my business, but I don't know much about creating a website.
Who has the time to create their own website?
I always thought a website would cost a lot of money. Then I discovered Wix.com.
Wix.com was the perfect solution.
It's so easy. You choose a beautiful design, write what you want to say, and move your images where you want them. No coding, no confusion.
And the best part is that Wix.com is absolutely free.
No matter what size your business, people don't take you seriously unless you have a professional-looking website. Create your own stunning website for free at Wix.com. That's Wix.com.
Attention homeowners, if your home value has prevented you from refinancing in the past, I've got great news. Hi, I'm David Hall, president of Shore Mortgage. An appreciating housing market has recently resulted in over 3 million homeowners rising above water, now making them eligible for new mortgage programs they didn't qualify for in the past. Call Shore Mortgage right now, 800-523-HOME. That's 800-523-HOME.
United Shore Financial Services, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 303.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of the Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
All right, welcome back to the program on the Voice of Ocala. One of the people we've had on this show, probably, no, I want to say he's been of our most. He's been on the show probably 6 times. I'm going to say 7 times, probably.
He's in the top. He's in the top 5 or 10 people that have been on that have made appearances on this show.
Well, and he also is one of our favorites, especially when he brings treats. He really guts up there.
Anytime you bring pigs in a blanket, I'm okay with it.
It's like he went from number 9 to like number 4, just like that quick. No, but mainly because he's a guy that, number one, he knows what he does. He's aware of what the community is about, and he's the thinking man, which is what I like about him. And I won't get into all the details of it, but I know that very few people have said, we think there's something down there, let's go drill for it, and it was actually there, and people were stunned that we found water someplace they didn't know about it. It was such a surprise the New York Times wrote about it. And he looks a little bit like a coach at Ohio State, but we won't bring that up today.
That's so mean.
Wait, there he is in the window. We got him in the window right here, buddy.
Jeff Halcomb, who's I'm just calling him Water Czar. I don't even go into all the other details and stuff. Although he might be gotten a promotion since then. Is it still Director of Water and Sewer or whatever that title was yet?
Water Resources.
Resources.
Called, yeah.
Okay. Well, I've never gotten it right, and I never will.
It's okay.
Good to see you again, and lots to talk about. But first of all, hope you had a happy holiday, good New Year. Did you take a little trip, right?
Yeah, I got to go up north, see my family up there near Cincinnati, Ohio. Got to go up there and freeze to death. We complain a lot in this area about a lot of things, but we should not complain about the weather. Exactly. This is beautiful here.
There's a great American born in Cincinnati.
A few of them.
No, one great American.
Who's that?
My wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, so you know that.
There you go.
So there's so many things going on right now with in the community. We got to get back to the point of that we talk about you've educated us about water here, which I appreciate. In fact, you've educated me a long time before that through an article I did for a local magazine. I got to know each other 4 or 5 years ago, and then I've learned a little bit, not a lot, about water. And I certainly, it didn't take a genius to figure out how valuable it is to us right now. And I'm not entirely comfortable that we're any better off than we were last time we talked, and I'm concerned maybe we're worse off. I don't know why. It's just a vibe I'm getting. But I want you in the next 30 minutes or so to kind of educate us again where we stand on our water supply, what your concerns are, where we're going. Are we going backwards or forwards? Are we up there? You were talking about upgrading some facilities at one time.
Yes.
Are you doing that? So give us a little overview of where you stand, how we stand, City of City of Ocala Water, how we're doing with that right now. And are we still at 16 to 18 million a day? Is that what we're ticketed at?
No.
We're higher.
We're less.
We're less. But I mean, that's what we can go to, right? If we're allotted.
It in the year 2027, yes.
Okay, but we're under that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, anyway. All right, so give us the deal. What's the latest news from the Water Department?
Okay, first thing, is it really true there's only 7 listeners here?
No, we lost one. We're down to 6.
Okay.
We're down to 6. One of them had to leave.
Well, let's see if we can get them back. Okay, well, first of all, the amount of water that we use in the city, our allocation is around 13 million gallons. That is the consumptive use permit allegation. And currently, though, we're using around 10 million gallons a day. So we're not using what the cup allocation is, which is good. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. Primarily, one of the biggest reasons right now is obviously it's cloudy today. There's been a lot of rain, so a lot of irrigation systems are either being turned off or they're on their own going off. So that's about where we are in water use. As far as if we're better off or not, if you don't mind, I will like to go back a little bit and see where we all this kind of started from.
Well, let's take a little more time to do that.
Okay.
It's going to take you longer than 2 minutes to do that.
Yes.
So we'll cover that next segment.
Okay.
So we're going to touch on that.
Okay.
You want to comment on any issues in the community at all, or anything you want to say about anything that's going on, or?
Well, I'm disappointed that we weren't able to get-togethers as a little bit better on our community, and a lot of really important issues that are going on. Not just the baseball, which you had talked about last time. There's a lot of issues here that we need to really be able to understand. And, a lot of people say we've been educated to death, we've been studied to death. Well, maybe the method that which we're doing it is not a method in which people are willing to listen to, because there's a lot of things that's being said or being entertained or being studied that are really important to all of us. And I hear and I see that sometimes in the letters to the editor in the Star Banner that, that they appreciate a leader, sticking up for them. Well, it's also important for the person who said that to make sure that they're informed too. Because the worst thing you can do is take my word for it. I don't want somebody to take my word for it. As a matter of fact, I want you to do some investigation, and I want somebody to be critical about what I do, because it's important. Because if they believe everything that I say, then if the first time I do something wrong, then you're not going to understand that maybe there was a reason that we do some of the things we do in a community. So it's important for us to be knowledgeable.
Good point. I read a quote today someplace about life being people go through life, people criticize you and they compliment you, and in the end of it, you'll be glad for both.
Absolutely.
And it's what you said.
Yep.
About, that was one of my quotes today I was going to use, but I wanted to bring it up now. And well, just for example, let's take the communications part of this. Should be so simple, and it is the single most difficult thing we do. We can't communicate. It's the cool hand Luke line. What we have here is a failure to communicate. And as a person in the communication business, I realize that on my end, I realize it more when I step outside of that and try to get involved in a cause like the Marion Theater. Yeah. We have an old saying, you say it 7 times and people just hear it the 8th.
Yeah,
and you have really a good example of this, because I've heard you talk about water resources for a long time. I've been to seminars where you talked about it. I've heard you talk about upgrading your toilets so that you get, don't use 5 gallons on a flush. I've heard you talk about all the ways to save water or whatever. And yet, some people have never heard that.
That's true. But I also believe that it's really not about communication anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
That's seriously. On that note, let's stop and let's communicate a break and come back. That's fascinating. See, that's why I like having you here. You always have something to say. You always stirring stuff up.
Yep.
No wonder they call you Urban Meyer's brother. Jeff Halcomb is in the house, Director of Water and Sewer Resources. I got it right. And we'll talk more about water and other issues right here on the Voice of Ocala next, right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
Internet question said for the parade, and the police will be there for control. The sheriff saying numerous times the department is understaffed. Are there enough officers to keep everybody safe for the parade in all of Ocala?
Yes, we pull from. The Ocala Police Department is the primary agency that's involved in the security of the parade, but we have assistance from the Sheriff's Office, from Denellen PD, and from Bellevue PD. We also use Highway Patrol, and every now and then we'll have Game and Fish. When you see the officers driving the cars and stuff down the parade and they look like they're in the parade, well, they are, but they're also part of the security team that's involved in the parade because they're watching as they're going down the parade route.
Join us on Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala on WOCA, The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Getting a head start in learning to read is more important now than ever for our young children. The Reading Pals program of Marion County pairs up reading mentors with struggling kindergartners and helps them get up to speed in their most important years. But they need volunteers. If you'd like to be a Reading Pal, call Jan Hathaway at the United Way at 732-9696. That's 732-9696. Be a Reading Pal today.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to technician Jim George. He's the owner of American Cable Services, and he'll be telling us what we can look forward to in the future of technology.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then John Horvath II will be with us. He's been on ABC News, C-SPAN, Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, and he's written a book called Return to Order: From a Frenzied Economy to an Organic Christian Society.
Join Kelly Fuqua-Hart and her guests on Ocala Magazine Radio.
And then Andrew Campanella is coming on. He's an outspoken advocate for providing all children with access to effective, excellent educational environments. He's going to speak about the 4th annual School Choice Week beginning Sunday, January 26th.
John LaPuma is a board-certified specialist in internal medicine. He'll be speaking about his book, Refuel, a 24-day eating plan to shed fat, boost testosterone, and pump up strength and stamina.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
Before the break, we talked about communication, how hard it is to get your points across, and the idea that you say something 7 times before people hear it the first time, and how hard it is to get. You have to be so repetitive that you get tired of hearing yourself say it after a while, and then people are hearing it for the first time. But my guest, Jeff Halcomb, Director and Czar of Resources for Sewer and Water, I added that in there, said, nope, it's not about communication. I said, okay, what is it? And now Jeff's going to tell us.
Communication, okay, is when we think of communication, nowadays, we think of communication is it's my way or the highway. When we think of communication today, all we think of is yelling. All we think of riots. All we think of is I want to get my way no matter what you say, I want to get my way. And what that means is that there is no communication. It's just that I'm telling you what I want, and I want you to deliver what I want. So there's not communication.
It's not a two-way communication.
Well, that was going to be my next thing. You took it right out of my mouth.
I'm sorry.
The most important part of communication is listening. And that's what we probably have the hardest part with. The next part is that after we've listened, the most important part of that communication is the feedback. And you're making sure that you understood what it is that I'm trying to get you to say. And that's where we start to fall apart. But the most important thing on that is that we're missing is that we don't look for a win-win. We look for, it's going to be my way. I don't care what I got to do to get my way. It's going to be my way. And that is, it's hard to make deals when you do that. It's hard to have a constructive criticism when you do that, because there's no constructive criticism anymore. There's only hatred towards one another when you get to a certain point. And that leads to nothing. That leads that nobody wins and a bunch of zeros in an empty field.
Interesting. Would you agree, disagree? I liken it to Humpty Dumpty. And this is the most important part about the Yankees, the stadium, is not the stadium. Most important about the fact is that we now know we have a fractured community. And what's happened is Humpty Dumpty has fallen, and each one of those pieces seem to have their own identity and own special interest group. My question is, who's going to rise up and put together what all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't do? Who represents the totalitarianism of this thing? Who represents the people's interests? Who represents what we need in our community, what Thomas Jefferson called democracy, the greatest good for the greatest number of people? Who is that person? And that's the one I'm looking for.
Okay, well, I think that's a start, and I'm going to give you a little criticism.
Go.
That it's not who it is, it's whom they are.
Okay.
It's not going to be one person. Okay, it's going to be a group of people realizing that the better interest of this community is not a selfish, biased look out of your own eyeballs. So do I see us a Humpty Dumpty? I see us as an opportunity missed, but an opportunity that has a chance to rekindle in maybe some other fashion.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that. I'm talking about what's here and now, though.
I know, but you said who's it going to be? And
I mean who collectively. I don't mean one individual, but it has to start with somebody. I do think I say who. I mean what group of individuals led by one or two or three or four people. That's a valid criticism.
Right.
And you're right. It is not one person, but. What's the saying about better to light one candle than complain about the darkness? It starts someplace.
Exactly. Well, I think that there are probably folks out there right now, and I can assure you that the city is looking at some, what are our options? Okay, once the dust settles, once the bomb went off, what happens? What can we do, and what are the possibilities? And I think the most important one is that we learn from this mistake. Obviously, there were some opportunities for both of us to get in there and talk about some things beforehand to understand each other a little bit better than perhaps what we did, and understand the mechanics of what was going on a little bit better than what happened, or how it all fell out. But I think that, like on our water, there's a lot of issues there that it's going to take somebody saying, you know what, I don't understand it, but I'm going to get involved in the process because I want what's best for this community.
I love that.
Not necessarily what's best for Jeff Halcomb.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily what's best for Buddy Martin. That is a kind of community that I want to live in.
Without personal agendas everywhere. And that's what we have now. We have a lot of personal agendas.
There are a lot of personal agendas. And, I don't know what they all are. All I know is that what they meant was that we missed an opportunity, like we've missed opportunities over the years. So
you're disappointed, aren't you?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Not just because it's not a ballpark, but you're disappointed in the whole process, aren't you?
Well, this is what I'm disappointed in, is that if you want the community to be a certain size, you tell your people that that's how big you want that community. And whatever that community is, that community should be that big. But within that community, it can't be just all painted one color. That community has to be diverse enough to draw different levels of people to be able to handle the different economical benefits that diversity brings. And to me, those are the things that I'm disturbed about. Well, not disturbed, but these are the things that we're going to work on, is that it wasn't just the baseball idea. It was what the baseball could bring. There were several other companies that I am sure that had their eye.
For sure, one I know of.
And I'm pretty positive that there were a few more that if the baseball thing would have came, they would have been here also. So my thing of it is, and not to knock some of the many Dollar Generals that here in town, but how many do you need? What we need is to have jobs for folks that are diverse enough, that the pay's enough, that we can be able to do some of the things that we do. And as it's been said many times in this community over the years, is that we only live in an X community, this one type of community. Well, that's not true. We live in a multi-diverse community. There's a lot of smart people in this community. There's a lot of diverse people. There's a lot of hardworking people in this community. So, let's give each other a little bit of credit and realize that the benefit for us is the benefit for our community.
And it's not so much that the pieces are on the ground are all different. That's fine. That's the diversity you're talking about.
Right.
After all, our whole economy needs to be more diverse. That's what the whole thing about economic development is about trying to bring other businesses here, because we can't survive like we used to on phosphate and on citrus and on cattle and on farming and on all the things and now building in the last 25 years. We can't, the construction business, it took us down the tubes. We went up and went down with it. Now we've gotten smart with our CP and other people's help. We got to diversify our economy, and this is part of what this was.
Absolutely.
That's the piece that we're talking about. It's not even baseball. It's not even the Yankees. It's just this was one more component that gave people, I know a lot of key people who are in their 30s right now who are really bitterly disappointed in this town.
Yep, absolutely.
I say a lot. I mean, I'm talking about 7 or 8. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know 50. That's
believe me, I've been out and around, and there was a lot of discourse because it didn't go through. Yeah. And I'm around all different kinds of people, and there were all different kinds of people that wondered, hey man, since that meeting that happened on the 17th, that to them was like, and so we kind of laid down and quit fighting. But I think, like the water, why did it take so long for us to really say that the springs had a problem? Everybody kept saying there was a problem with the springs.
We knew it. You knew it. Even I knew it. And in your business, you knew there were major problems to the springs.
Right. So what does it take, for somebody to say, I have a perfectly good operating septic tank. Why should I have to go on to a central sewer system? Well, the reason you do that is because the central sewer system is one treatment process that we can modify, affect the treatment of that process in order to have a better result. And that's the same thing in business, it's the same thing in community. There's one thing that we need to be able to fight for, and that's a realization that our community is worth fighting for. And it is. We got a great community. There's a lot of great people in this community. All we got to do is that sometimes no in our community means that we stop, instead of no means, okay, in this case here, what if baseball doesn't come? Are we going to use this as an example and say, well, that's just a reason that we failed? Or are we going to say, hey, listen, we failed because of these reasons. Let's get back on the game and figure out what we got to do to make this a positive turnout. And I know we can.
Well, that's a positive view of it, and that's what we need, too. We need a little encouragement. We need a little vision. We need to know we can still reverse things. I'm tired of hearing all the stories about how we passed up on Cisco, we passed up on Walmart, we passed up all those opportunities, Disney World, whatever the case may be. I love this community. I don't want it to be Orlando. I'm happy with it being a nice, small town. But we've got to do something about our economy. or the young people are going to abandon us. They're all going to look like me with blue hair. And so we can't build. We can't build a future on that.
You're absolutely right. If we don't want to be Orlando, let's don't be Orlando. Yeah. But let's agree that the city council and the commission, along with our citizens, that we're only going to have this much urban sprawl. We're only going to have this much, concrete and asphalt. And then from then on, every one of our building schemes from that day forward, and when we modify, they go back to a low impact development scheme. And that, for me, because I'm trying to segue back into water.
I want to get to that too. It's okay. I have a couple questions for you.
Because it's, the parking lots, for example, most of the parking lots here don't have to be built the way they're built. They can be built with low impact development schemes that will allow the water to percolate through, because nature is unbelievable if we give it a chance to work. The only trouble is that we put nature at a point where she doesn't have an opportunity to recover herself, and that's kind of where our springs are.
I have a friend. We have a driveway, asphalt driveway. The house has been there forever. My sister built it many years ago, and we got to replace the driveway. My friend said, no. You tear that up and you put pebbles down there.
Awesome.
I said, well, I wouldn't think about that. I want to have pebbles every night, but I get it. It's going to help the grounds. The water's going to seep better through. We won't have the stormwater drain off that we have issue, which is, of course, part of what you're dealing with all the time. Getting to water. This is one of the reasons that you came on the show. And I won't run you off, by the way, just so you get to say what you want to. Update us on Frank Stronach. You have a fan club out here.
I think so.
So update us on the situation with, what does it say, by the way? It says, can we get a, what?
We get a shout out for somebody.
4:30, please. Well, take it over to Tom so he can read it. I can't read it. So you got to give us an update on Adena Springs and what's happened there. What you know about Silver Springs from the standpoint of the water at this point, and tell us how we're doing on that. And since we started talking about this 2.5 years ago, our water supply is a little bit better. But we still got issues, as evidenced by Lake Weir. I always hear people talking about Lake Weir. It's terrible. They're sucking our water out down in the villages. All those things that I hear. You hear them too. So my question is, is any or all of that true? And tell us where we stand and how we're going to approach that. We'll take a break. Can you remember all that?
Yes.
You're a pretty smart guy. We'll take a break, come back. We'll get Jeff to answer those questions. Jeff Halcomb, who is the Director of Sewer and Water Resources. Tom Schmitz, who's Director of Teenage Communication.
Yeah, they dropped this off. It's kind of funny, actually.
Well, do you want to read it now, or do you have a specific time?
At 4:30.
We'll be in the middle of break at 4:30.
It's 4:30.
Well, it's
4:28.
4:20. I don't know. I could do it now, I guess.
Well, I don't know.
We'll do it when we come back.
I'll tell you what we'll do. For the young girls who are very excited about this, Jeff and I will talk another minute and a half.
Okay.
Well,
so we'll make up some.
Well, yeah.
How about them Gators, Jeff?
By the way, you said earlier that, there's nothing for, you passed on Walmart and they passed on Cisco. Yeah, they passed on me, though. I live here. So, that's something good for the community.
You certainly are a big attraction,
as far as I'm
Tom.
concerned.
It's no question about it. I'm sure, Tom, that you are a major economic development asset for this community.
As much money as I spend at restaurants and bars around the area, I probably am.
You just spent it on me, I can tell you that.
You not get invited out to those.
Last time you went to your wallet for me, you got a crick in your neck or something.
No, we went to Wolfish.
Hey, I've seen him out. He's always got people around him every place, all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know this or not.
They're all buying drinks.
I don't know if you know this or not. I think I'm a big deal.
Leather-bound books?
Yeah. I have furniture that smells of rich mahogany.
All right, so we're going to tell our young friends in just about 30 seconds.
It's very cute. They wrote up this nice little thing, and I thought for a minute it was Jeff Halcomb's fan club.
Well, it could be. They thought he was Urban Meyer.
They thought he was. I think they seen the bobblehead and then looked in and said,
by the way, I did see your brother Urban Meyer. I told you that.
Yes.
The world, America's most hated man in this part of the country. By the way, in Ohio, they kind of like him.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'm thinking they ought to start a I Hate Charlie Strong club and I Hate Jimbo Fisher club, just because everyone likes to hate so much. So if we're going to hate, let's hate Steve Spurrier while we're at it too. Let's just hate people. That's what we do, right? All right, Tom. I think it's about time to read your message.
It is. This is for Buddy. Buddy, can we get a shout out at 4:30?
Hello,
please. For Shelby and Janelle, we love you. So see, buddy,
What now? We love them or they love them?
No, they say we love you like they love us.
They love us?
Yeah. Can we get a shout out at 4:30, please, for Shelby and Janelle? We love you.
Well, we do that a couple times.
There you go. See,
go ahead and do it again. One more. I like that.
Hey, Shelby and Janelle, thanks for dropping by.
We love you.
And you love us. Hey, we appreciate it.
You know what? That also pushes our listenership to 9 now.
So Shelby and Janelle just joined our listenership.
You see what happens when you have a good guest on? It just takes off.
Shelby and Janelle right now are in the car giggling and everything.
Yeah.
Pointing the radio.
I can't believe they did it, though. All right, let's take a break, come back. Let's get the answer to those I've forgotten the questions now. But anyway, whatever they were, Jeff will answer them coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source. Dr. Seaborn Hunt, a board-certified ophthalmologist in Ocala. There's no referral needed for an appointment. Call 873-7200, offering medical services for glaucoma management, including laser surgery to help lower your eye pressure and potentially reduce your dependency on eye drops. He also evaluates and treats diabetic retinopathy, one of the leading causes of blindness, with advanced imaging and laser procedure to help prevent vision loss. Dr. Hunt's office accepts most insurance and files claims for you. Call Dr. Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
You know what that anticipation feels like when you're about to open a gift? In a Box offers personalized gifts. Everything you'll need for that special occasion. In a Box. Holidays, birthdays, graduations, spa days, weddings, anniversaries, get-wells, and more. In a Box. Visit inaboxcelebrations.com and pick your theme. There's even a corporate option. Inabox creates the magic, and you'll be the rock star. Visit inaboxcelebrations.com, partnered with Woodley Gardens.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
That is one sound no one likes to hear, but if it happens, know that it will be reported in seconds to the right authorities. AA Lock, Dock, and Security is your company for your home and your business. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, where you can get that extra key made or have your lock rekeyed. Questions to protect your home and business, call 352-867-1965. Or stop by AA Lock, Dock, and Security at their new location, 219 Northwest 10th Street here in Ocala. Remember, be proactive, not reacting after it happens. Call 352-867-1965. 352-867-1965.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
When people were asked to choose between a bunch of items, they had less stamina and did worse on mental tests afterward. So the fix? Try and go with your gut. What is the top indicator that you will weigh more in 5 years? It's being on a diet today. You want a quick immune booster? Eat more shellfish. I do. It's because it contains selenium and zinc, nutrients that can cut the time you struggle with a cold or the flu by nearly 1/2.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Your official news source, WOCA.
Sometimes you're better off dead. There's a gun in your hand that's pointing at your head. You think you're mad, too unstable, kicking in chairs and knocking down tables in a restaurant.
You're gonna play Robin Thicke's new song.
Hey, yo, see, he even knows Robin Thicke.
Pet Shop Boys for the 80s.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That
is. To him, it's Robin Thicke, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The second you think Robin Thicke, I think it was Dad. That's what I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. By the way, coming up 5 o'clock, we got Around the City of Ocala water cooler.
I think we need to do something with city water on that.
I said this Around the City water cooler. That's what I said.
All right, good.
We'll put a tap in here if you want. I mean, we'll put it right up here and fire it up and get our glasses up. And look, this lemonade's made by the Ocala City Water right
That's
there.
right. That's what I think what we need to do.
We do that. We can make that happen. And you can even drop by and add your 2 cents once in a while.
Right.
We have good water in the city, I will say. Not just because you're sitting here, but it's very good water.
It is.
I do like to filter mine again, if that's okay with you.
That's okay with me.
And I got a price, thanks to my daughter, bought me a really nice hot water tap. I can get instant, I'm a hot water drinker in the morning with lemon.
Yeah.
So my daughter taught me to do, Lori. And I love my water, and I'd rather have it there than any place I know, right from my tap. So somebody's doing something right over there.
I get mine.
There's a lot of folks doing something right over there.
You got a good shop. And by the way, before we go to those questions, which I just answered and I've already forgotten, I want to go back to one thing that I'm so amazed about you. I've said this a number of times, but I'm probably embarrassing you. But what I like about a guy who is an explorer, who says, let's go over there and find that land. I know America's there. Let's get in our ships and go find it. That pioneering spirit of saying, look beyond your nose and see what else is out there. And all our data tells us this has got to be there. The evidence is not always empirical, but it's a pretty good bet this is going to be there. And then after you have decided that, being able to convince other people who have money, who have to spend money to make that happen, to drill down and how many ever feet it was, and spend a couple $100,000, which by the way is like tip money compared to what it should have been,
right? And
find there's water in another aquifer right below us. That is an amazing story. And you didn't tell me this. I know other people told me about that. This is your baby. What in the world possessed you to think you could find water down there is what I want to know.
First of all, I am an explorer, and I appreciate you saying that because we do that all the time. But the thing that would differentiate me is that the only thing that I want to do is that make sure that when I leave whatever I explored, I left it in a better condition. So the issue here for the city was quite simple, but complex. It was the fact that our water is of issue. We know we have issues at the springs, and that issue is that we can't, no matter if we conserve water till we hardly don't drink any water, if the population continues to grow, we're going to have to do something. So again, when I go back to that community spirit, when I go back to what we really need to do, is that if we could everybody just go to ground zero for a minute and realize that Ocala has an opportunity to do something different in the way we use our water. And that is if we can, I hope that the word conservation doesn't become the key word anymore, as water responsibility becomes a key word. Because there are going to be areas where we can conserve water, but more importantly, there's going to be areas where we can reduce pollution in our water, and not just nitrate pollution. I know I hear that all the time. I read it all the time.
Nitrate.
That's all I hear about. Well,
that's caused by fertilizer primarily.
It is primarily because of fertilizer, but there's some other reasons for that also. Yeah. And septic tanks are one of those reasons. Just some poor habits. Right. But again, these things we can fix if we are just willing to still look at our competitive nature, but use our competitive nature to win this and not use our competitive nature for defeat.
But can I ask Jeff a question? Because I live in the county. But my water affects city of Ocala water. People think because they live in the county, what they do to their lawns doesn't get back into the aquifer, but it does.
It does.
So, but I have a septic tank. I live on a septic tank, 900 gallon septic tank that I just had the drain fields redone 3 years ago. What is it about septic tanks? Does that mean, because I get mine checked once a year and pumped once a year and everything, does that mean I'm doing the right thing with septic tanks?
No.
Does it help the water, or
No.
am I not doing the right thing?
No, I'm really glad you brought that up. Septic tank, all it does is clarify. Okay, when you use a septic tank is just a big square box.
It holds waste.
It holds waste, and it has a leach field, and in that leach field, it leaches the water back into the ground. Okay, now it's supposed to leach at a rate that will allow the microorganisms that live naturally or occurring in the ground to reduce. Okay, but when you add stuff like soap powders and you add stuff like oils and shampoos and everything else that complicates life, it makes it hard for that septic tank to work. So a septic tank was never ever designed to remove nitrates. Okay, they do by de facto because of just what I said earlier, but they're not efficient at removing those. So no, you could have them inspected every year. That's not the issue. The issue is that they're not going to work the way they're supposed to work.
And Rid-X and all doesn't help that at all.
They do help. Yeah.
Because I do that once a month.
There's Rid-X, there's other companies. If you put those in there are microorganisms that are basically freeze-dried that you dump in your toilet bowl.
Right.
And
I do it once a month.
Once a month, a quarter bag or whatever. I don't know. I use some of them.
I do half a box is what it says do.
Okay.
Still.
So, those, you add some bacteria and those help. The bacteria help break the system down, but still yet it's not as efficient as some of the other treatment systems that are out there.
All right, back to Adena Springs and water.
Yep. So I give you a chance to remember some of those questions.
Well, I
do
remember them. I remember them all. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Just a little jab there. No, I want to get to that because that's ground zero. I think we're in the water situation. To me, at least, it is.
Yeah, and I don't think so.
Well, I mean, the springs is also ground zero.
No.
But it affects the springs.
I know what you're saying, and I dig that. But it's amount of water. Let's just go there for a minute, okay? Let's just say that, like the baseball, that was an opportunity miss. Let's just say that this is an opportunity here for this. And it's the amount of water that we're pulling for the aquifer. It doesn't matter if it's coming from Adena Springs or big housing development.
Right.
Or it doesn't matter that the city has to pump more, or the county has to pump more, or this, that, or the other. It really has to do with what are we going to begin to tolerate, what are we not going to tolerate in water use. So in the case of Adena Springs, and I think you've heard me on this show before, is that personally, Adena Springs, if it was able to come to fruition, would change the way the cattle industry is done, at least in the state of Florida. To me, the good thing about that is that no longer would we have to ship cattle to Texas to get fat. So there's a lot of environmental cost that I think could benefit from that. In other words, we wouldn't have to ship, we wouldn't have to move, we'd have better, we'd be more organic and the whole ball of wax. Now the issue comes up with, well, they're going to use water. That's true, but I'm sure there's some things that they still could do there with their water use. Some people that walk in front of this window are pretty mad. I'm sorry, I got totally
hard to concentrate.
I got totally diverted there.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so Adena Springs is I understand folks really want to take that because to them they can label that thing and lay that person. But again, it's the amount of water that we need to curtail, and we could do a lot of that curtailing right here in the city. For instance, like I told you earlier, we're using around 10 million gallons. Well, we know for a fact on days when people are not irrigating that our numbers start to go even lower than that. We know that we probably are only using about 9 million gallons to 8 million gallons of water other than irrigation, so essential use. So we know that if we could save water by reducing irrigation and being more responsible with our water use, that we could have water for a long time.
All right, Jeff Falcom, we got about less than a minute in this segment. I'll even squeeze you in 2 more minutes after the break, but I want to get to this one thing about water levels, or should we save that? We're going to have about 5 minutes on the other side, because the thing I keep hearing people, have you seen Lake Weir? Yeah, I've seen Lake Weir. Are we catching up with this? Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? Is the water being sucked out of the ground by the villages, etc.? Put that on hold. Remember it. Don't try to dodge it. So I'm going to call you out, Halcom.
All right. Call me out on it.
Jeff Halcom, Director of Water and Sewer Resources for the City of Ocala. We'll take a timeout, come back, and finish up right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. Call me at 622-2333, and let's make sure you're in good hands.
We got it together, didn't we?
If you missed Dr. Buddy recently on The Voice of Ocala, you missed the saga of Bob, how Bob deals with his family and a new relationship.
The issue is the mind of the children, how they think about it. They don't know what's going on, right? He still wants to pursue keeping his family together because that's the most important thing to him above everything else.
Yeah.
So he says, I said, go back and talk to your ex-wife again and put it back on the table and just say, think about this and give me an answer. Then go to your children and make it known that you say, I don't want to live by myself. I'm trying to see if your mother wants to get back together. If she does, I would like to move back together, right?
So be sure to check out Dr. Buddy every Monday afternoon on The Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
This is Austin Tavern reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
This is Allison Campbell from the ARC Marion Foundation. Whenever I need the most up-to-date news on sports, Buddy Martin's sports page is where I go. Around the water cooler. Sometimes I even tell him myself. WOCA!
Plumbing. I see. Ooh, we can try to fix that. I'll send someone right over. How's the third Wednesday of next month sound? Say between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Would that be fine? Of course it will. Now I'll just need your credit card information.
Does that sound all too familiar? Well, next time, call Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. We schedule around your time, not ours. And we have straight time, anytime, all the time. That means we're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we don't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. We install traditional and tankless water heaters, repipes, drain repair, septic service and installation, irrigation systems, new construction, remodels, bathrooms, kitchens, even gas line installation and service. And we've been doing it all for over 25 years. So call today, 237-2888. That's 237-2888. And remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing.
At Palm Chevrolet, we're starting 2014 with a renewed commitment to you, our customers. Now, what does that mean? Well, for starters, it means breaking away from the pack. No more screaming and shouting about deals that seem too good to be true and this weekend-only events. Instead, when we have something to say, we're simply going to say it. Straightforward, open, like you would with your friends. It's the same way you're treated when you come to our dealership. When you come to Palm Chevrolet, you're not pounced upon by a salesperson. You're greeted like a guest at our home. And our deals, they're simple, old-fashioned horse trading, the way you do it with your neighbors. We put our prices right on the windshield of our cars. We use the Auto Trader trade-in marketplace to make sure you get a fair price for your trade. We even have trucks in our service loaner fleet. No games, no hassles. It's the way you've told us you like to do business. We call it the Palm Chevrolet way. So come on down to 2300 Southwest College Road in Ocala and see how easy it is to buy a car or truck the Palm Chevrolet way. Visit palmchevrolet.com. Chevy. Find new roads.
All right, 5 minutes ago with Jeff Halcom, Director of Water and Sewer Resources, City of Ocala, and we got just limited time here. The hour always goes so fast with you, and I always enjoy having you talking about a variety of subjects, but the one I want to get back to on water that everybody asks me about, and I know you hear it too, and that is everybody's concerned about how our water's doing. Overall, how are we doing on water right now in the county? Is the levels better than they were 2 years ago? How much better, et cetera?
Yes, overall we're doing pretty good. If you'll look at the book that everybody quotes, when you talk about the Florida Everglades, and you look on page 14, and I'm telling whoever reads that book to look on page 14 because that is a lot of environmentalists call for, a lot of things that we should have been done and why the Everglades are so bad shape. But one of the most important things on page 14, it says, in about the third paragraph, it says that most of the problems are because there's not enough rain. The rain is the key to the Everglades. Well, the rain is the key to a lot of what we got too. That's not necessarily everything, but it's rain. It's the drain. It's the decisions we make on runoff, the drainage, and so on and so forth. But the rain is the key. So we've been getting the rains this year. So a lot of the water levels we're seeing are coming back.
Yeah, but there is this issue of people who are pretty convinced that there's a straw in the ground and the people from the villages are taking our water in Lake Weir and it's going down because of the people in the villages. That's what I'm hearing from everybody, right?
Yeah, well, and that's probably true. In other words, if you think of a bathtub, and I think I've said that before, bathtub with water in it, and you put everybody's own private well in it, and you put the city's wells in it, and you put the village's wells in it, and you put everybody who lives in Lake Weir's well in it, and that's a straw, something's going to happen. So it's the conscious use of that water is what we need to do. Now, in particular, let's just talk about Lake Weir for a minute.
We got just about 2 minutes. You got it.
Okay, I'll just take 30 seconds to say.
No, take 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, I wanted to get on to other stuff, but the trouble with communities like Lake Weir that are around lakes and some of the other areas in Florida is that if you have a house on there and you have a well on there and you have another well for irrigation, you're pulling water from somewhere. You're pulling water most likely from the recharge area that lake normally would have gone in. So if you take several hundred homes, I don't know how many homes are around Lake Weir, I don't know how many things that are going on there, and we're just using Lake Weir for an example. That doesn't mean I'm picking on Lake Weir, I'm just saying that, is that some of what that community suffers from is that they are helping to contribute their problems.
So you think a lot of it's the people who live on the lake?
I think a lot of it is the water use, yes.
Interesting. All right, now what else did you want to get in? Because I don't want you to be mad at me. So you said you want to talk about something else.
Yeah.
What was it?
But I wanted to say though is I don't want to take any pressure off of the villages and off the city of Ocala and off of Mary County. I'm not taking the pressure off of us to conserve water. I just want to be clear on that.
It's all of our jobs.
Yeah, but what I want to talk about is water responsibility. Okay. So water responsibility means that you're going to look for things to reduce the amount of pollution that could seep into the ground. Okay. In other words, nitrates are an issue, but if you
I got to fertilize my grass.
You got to fertilize your grass, but how much fertilizer do you use?
Little as I can.
Well, but there's a lot of people that don't know what little as I can means. Okay. They put it in there because they want it to be green. Like right now, one of the things that I see a lot of people doing right now is planting ryegrass.
No, it's not going to do that. As a matter of fact, xeriscape, I'm not going to go xeriscape, so don't tell me that.
No, I'm not saying anything about xeriscape, but I'm just saying is that, we plant ryegrass. Well, ryegrass takes, guess what it takes out? It takes nutrients to grow ryegrass. Right. So either you have to fertilize it or you're going to use up the nutrients, so the nutrients won't be there for the grasses that you currently have. So there's a lot.
Number one.
So pollution is something that we really got to take care of. Okay. Now I go back to irrigation, and I say this, I think every time we come on. How many times do you check your irrigation system if you have one to make sure it's running right and make sure it does not have any leaks? Many, 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 many times we see it all the time where people will have broken off heads and they don't know about it because they haven't checked their system. Okay, so the other part of it that is I want to make sure that we look at is what do you want? Okay, what kind of community do you want? Okay, so
about 25 seconds.
Okay. I wasn't good reading lips, but anyway. So what kind of
your thought? Go ahead.
Yeah. So what kind of community do you want? Yeah. And the part about that is that it just takes some decent planning and some people to allow that planning to come to fruition, and it means that everybody has to take a little bit of a hit, though. Okay. In other words, to do that, it's cheaper to do plain asphalt. It might cost a little bit more to do something else, but it's more important that we do the environment.
Jeff, how come? You're always interesting. Good stuff. By the way, I'm a known water criminal. I once got a fine for overwatering my lawn in Ponte Vedra. So Ponte Gorda. I want to make sure you know I'm a criminal. Okay. So hey, thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Let's do it again soon.
All right, we'll do.
Stay tuned for Buddy Sports Page coming up next right here on
WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Commercial Bank approval. Vehicle purchase price fixed rate loan.
Don't pump iron, dump it.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales with the health and beauty secret of the new year. The fastest way to look great in 2014 is to dump your old car. Lose that old car weight of a car you hate. Bring me your old car, and based on the sale price of the nicer, newer car you choose, I'll give you up to $5,114 off a nicer, newer car today. Look good right away in a nicer, newer car today and get up to $5,114 off.
Plus, our For the People credit approval process gets the lender sweaty and ready to approve you, even if you've had credit problems in the past.
Kick off your old car diet today.
See you at Prestige.
But wait, get here fast. My Old Car Diet program ends after we've helped 47 people drop the weight of the car they hate.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
We're not just the horse capital of the world. Ocala Marion County is now the hoops capital, too, thanks to the 2013 national champion CF Patriots basketball team. The McDonald Allstate Agency brings you the reigning kings of the court all season long right here on WOCA. Coach Tim Ryan and the Patriots look to defend their national crown and get set to host the state tournament this coming spring. The McDonald Allstate Agency brings you CF basketball only on WOCA, The Source.
WOCA. Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
When people were asked to choose between a bunch of items, they had less stamina and did worse on mental tests afterward. So the fix? Try and go with your gut. What is the top indicator that you will weigh more in 5 years? It's being on a diet today. You want a quick immune booster? Eat more shellfish. I do. It's because it contains selenium and zinc, nutrients that can cut the time you struggle with a cold or the flu by nearly 1/2.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Howdy, RL here to tell you about a great deal at Dairy Queen. For only $4.49, you can warm up to a hot, juicy combo of either a foot-long, quarter-pound all-beef chili dog or a tasty, home-style cheeseburger. Smoking hot off the char grill. Both get fries and a drink. You can add a sundae for only 99 cents. Now that's a doggone good deal at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, loss proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
News now, I'm Daria Albinger. Some of the nation's largest food companies have put their products on a diet. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation says from 2007 to 2012, General Mills, Campbell's, ConAgra, and Kraft Foods cut calories in their products by almost 6.5 trillion. That's about 78 calories per person per day. A lot of people say Uncle Sam has no right to collect data from our phone calls or emails. The government's listening. President Obama met today with congressional leaders discussing possible changes to the NSA's surveillance policies. Snapchat's released an update following a security breach last week which exposed the phone numbers of millions of users. It improves the functionality of the Find Friends feature, which was at the heart of the breach. Users can also now avoid linking their usernames with their phone numbers. So when was the last time you heard this? Delta Airlines thinks you and your carry-on luggage need more room on their planes, so it's making bigger seats and more storage bins. This is ABC News.
If you're a homeowner who's faithfully made your mortgage payments, you deserve thanks for doing the right thing. And I'd like to tell you about a powerful financial tool that rewards your commitment. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. And the tool that I'm talking about is the Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. HARP is designed to help you lower your mortgage payments. It's for homeowners who are current on their mortgage payments, but due to the housing market may have little or no equity left in their home. And even if you were unable to get a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that now you may be eligible. More than 2.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of HARP and are saving an average of $250 a month. If you're one of the millions yet to take advantage, call us today at 800-QUICKEN. To learn more, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That number again is 800-QUICKEN.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poor house at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slice.
And now, here's Buddy.
All right, time for Buddy Sports Page on a Thursday. Our group has
kind of feels like old times, doesn't it?
It does. I'll say this is around the high and dry water cooler today because our guys are all off someplace, off doing something. I don't know where Tom James is.
I remember you and I did a sports show for a few months where it was just you and I in a little room.
Well, it was about 6-7 months, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So, and I don't have to crawl around the floor in this one.
Yeah, and the world's a lot better off that we're not doing it anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But, good to have Jeff Cal come on. We normally have a cast of thousands here. We don't have enough microphones for the people, but today Tom and I are carrying it. So we're going to kind of go sort of halfway around the water cooler and talk about some of the things happening. We'll have special guest Ira Schofel from the Tallahassee Democrat. You know, we kind of got to air out this whole thing with the Florida State National Championship. And something that certainly we'll be talking about for a long time. And we'll get some thoughts about a new coach, I guess, we got at Penn State. You'll update us on that in a minute. And I'll give you my take on this. I went up last night to watch the Gator basketball team open its SEC schedule. And even though I can get a press pass, I like to sit in the stands sometimes.
Yes.
And I went, and thanks to Susan Griner, kind enough to take my wife and I up, and we went up and watched it, and had a little different take on things. watching as I did from the stands and taking in the whole scenario there up at the O-Dome.
So you were sitting with basketball royalty at the O-Dome.
Well, yeah. No, the grinders. There's a lot of
a grinder at the O-Dome.
There are actually a lot of Ocala people in that one section. It's in the end zone. I love the seats because it's way in the back in the end zone, and it's right up against the back, and that's a good seat for me. I like it. It's a little different view of basketball instead of going up and back and forth like tennis. It's up and down. But anyway, I got a little take on that, and some of it has to do with the I don't want to say spiritual quality, but the fire in the belly of the fans, and what I have to say about how I felt being there. Although it's an enthusiastic crowd, it's a little different than I expected, and I'll tell you why. Also, as I said, we will talk to Franz Beard. Gators supposedly got a 5-star recruit that flipped today and is going to come from Washington, D.C., and we'll get his take about that as well as the Gator basketball team. We probably need to talk a little bit more about Bobby Petrino. He, of course, is new coach at Louisville. I guess even Western Kentucky is hiring a coach now next. It kind of goes down the line, We'll kick that around along with other news. Speaking of which, you have.
I do have news for today. First story is the Washington Redskins search for a new head coach has ended. Jay Gruden, the offensive coordinator at the Cincinnati Bengals, was hired.
As somebody said, the wrong Gruden.
The wrong Gruden. He was scheduled to interview for the Minnesota Vikings vacancy, but he agreed to become the Redskins coach. He replaces Mike Shanahan, who was fired the day after the team's season ended. He becomes the 6th coach hired by owner Dan Snyder in 15 years. None have lasted more than 4 years.
Gruden what do you think is going on up there? You think there might be a common denominator and all that?
Dan Snyder.
Yeah, hello.
Gruden also, his head coaching experience was Arena League, by the way. James Franklin looks to be set to an offer to become the next head coach at Penn State, a source told ESPN today. Vanderbilt athletic director David Williams told the Associated Press that Franklin remains the coach of the Commodores and was told by Franklin on Thursday that reports were inaccurate and he's not accepted another job.
And the AD said, I think we got him. I don't think he's going to stay. I don't think he's going to go, he said. I think he's going to stay. Anyway.
I think he's gone. Also, Trey Mason, who you voted for in your Heisman Trophy balloting, headed to the NFL draft. He finished the season as well as any player in college football. He broke Bo Jackson's single-season rushing record at 1,816 yards rushing. It was a late surge, however, but he's going to take his talents to the NFL draft. Dan Lebatard, as no one is surprised, was stripped by the Baseball Writers Association of America has been kicked out of the Baseball Writers Association of America for 1 year and barred from all future Hall of Fame votes after he turned over his 2014 ballot to Deadspin. We talked about that yesterday. Well,
that's like my grandma used to call closing the barn door after the horse is stolen.
Right.
We all knew that
the decision was made Thursday by the Baseball Writers of America Board of Directors a day after he said that Deadspin cast his ballot. Finally, Alex Rodriguez, the decision whether to accept a suspension or a fight on, he says it's down to dollars and cents. He would take a lesser penalty and stop arguing with Major League Baseball. He says 211 games is too much, but he would take another one no longer than 100 games.
Hey, Rod, a little late, my friend.
Yeah, a little late, but right now he's $10 million in court costs and no guarantee of winning. The 100 game ban would cost him $15 million of his scheduled $25 million for 2014. So he's looking to take a $15 million hit instead of a $25 million hit.
By the way, I just meant to tell you, I think I forgot to tell you we have 10 listeners because I talked to somebody over at Albert Peake's office last night at the basketball game. He listens too, so we have 10 now.
Well, there you go, 10.
You mentioned a couple of things there. Let me ask you a question. Biggio missed by, what, two-tenths of a point? What is that? You're the mathematician. How many votes would it have taken for him to get that? Would one vote have swung it?
It would have took two votes.
So the one Deadspin vote, I'm not sure, maybe they voted for him.
They did vote for Biggio.
Okay, so that didn't matter. It's not so.
No.
But that if they hadn't, and
Biggio misses it by 0.3.
Well, that'd have been too bad, and that's why you can't be irresponsible with your vote. If you're not going to vote on it, you turn it in and say I'm not voting.
Although Deadspin's votes did have it listed the same way they have it listed here, except for they had Mark McGuire up higher. Mark McGuire instead of Tim Raines, Mark McGuire was in Tim Raines' spot. So the fans did get it exactly the way the voting went, except for Mark McGuire was in Tim Raines' position at 47%.
We have this problem with these kinds of things right now, with how to embrace candidates who have a record. Okay, I mean people who have tainted pasts. We know about Pete Rose. We've had other situations happen in halls of fame with athletes. And now it's coming down to the coaching profession in football. Naturally, Bobby Petrino. Did you think Bobby Petrino was going to get hired? A lot of people didn't think so. Petrino now, they apparently, the athletic director, Tom Jurich, was able to convince folks that I heard he has a $10 million buyout. So basically, he's not leaving there anytime soon.
No, he ain't leaving it.
But I mean, there was a lot of people thought he'll never hire him. But Jurich, I got to give him a lot of credit. He's either really smart or really stupid. I'm not sure which. But he was able to get past that and believes in his heart that maybe the mistake has been made and he's paid his penance for it. But having said that, you won't believe the column I just reading a minute ago by Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports, ripping, of all people, not Bobby Petrino, but James Franklin. And the headline says, Penn State, of all teams, should have avoided James Franklin. Why? I'm going to tell you about it a little bit later on in the program.
Speaking about, you're talking about Pete Rose, when you're talking about the Hall of Fame, Pete Rose getting in and the steroid guys and all. I talked to a buddy of mine who works for the Atlanta Braves. And
another friend?
I got,
Man, you loaded.
Everybody except me, buddy, ended up doing something, useful with their lives.
That's a good thing to know.
And then I talked to two of my friends that are in.
Two more.
They work for magazines in the Atlanta area.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all discussing this last night, and the argument came up about Pete Rose. And they said what they figured out is the reason why my argument, and they decided one of the guys' argument didn't stand up, and your argument is, let's talk about Pete Rose before we start talking about Mark McGuire and all, is Mark McGuire has never been banned from baseball, neither has Barry Bonds or anything. The baseball writers can't vote on Pete Rose until baseball reinstates Pete Rose, and they're not real sure the baseball writers then wouldn't immediately put Pete Rose in.
Yeah, and then there's people who think, well, how come the baseball writers are exclusive to newspaper people? And that's a legitimate point. As someone said, newspapers don't have the clout they once did in this country. And so there's a lot of good people on electronic media who are doing their jobs quite well, knowledgeable people on other networks who probably ought to be voting, Anyway, that's neither here or there. All right, coming up next, we're going to have a little a trip down memory lane, Monday night's national championship game. What's it like in Tallahassee? They're all the glow up there, I guarantee you. And not just Red Lightning, a whole bunch of people up there. Very happy with Seminole Nation right now. We'll talk to the sports editor of the Tallahassee Democrat, Ira Schofeld, who was there in Pasadena when the Noles finished off the undefeated season by beating Auburn for the championship. Coming up next right here on Buddy's Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Commercial Bank approval. Vehicle purchase process affects trade allowance.
Don't pump iron, dump it.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales with the health and beauty secret of the new year. The fastest way to look great in 2014 is to dump your old car. Lose that old car weight of a car you hate. Bring me your old car, and based on the sale price of the nicer, newer car you choose, I'll give you up to $5,114 off a nicer, newer car today. Look good right away in a nicer, newer car today and get up to $5,114 off.
Plus, our For the People credit approval process gets the lenders sweaty and ready to approve you, even if you've had credit problems in the past.
Kick off your old car diet today.
See you at Prestige.
But wait, get here fast. My Old Car Diet program ends after we've helped 47 people drop the weight of the car they hate.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Whenever something big happens in Ocala and Marion County, Buddy Martin is there on the case.
Head coach of the Florida Gator basketball team, Coach Billy Donovan. How are you feeling right now about this team in 2013 2014?
But I like these kids a lot. They've worked very hard. It's a good group. The most challenging part for me as been a coach has been the inconsistency of players in practice.
So remember, always check out Buddy Martin on the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Trauma care centers save thousands of Florida lives.
But Shands UF wants to close Ocala Regional's trauma center.
An out-of-town hospital that receives millions in taxpayer money is suing to shut down Ocala's trauma center. They want to pull the plug on life-saving trauma care all over Florida. Don't let them get away with it. Trauma care increases the chance of survival in traumatic injuries by 25%. 25%.
That's right. But only 2 in 5 Floridians have the access to trauma care they need. And that's not even close to good enough.
We don't need less access to trauma care. We need more.
It's time for Shands UF to stop putting profits ahead of patients.
Stop playing political games.
Visit SaveOurTraumaCenters.org to find out how you can help keep Ocala's Trauma Center open and protect life-saving trauma care. Save more lives. Save our trauma centers. Paid for by the 60 Plus Association.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
All right, welcome back to the program. When the Seminoles beat Auburn to go undefeated, it marked only the third time a quarterback, I believe, had won the Heisman Trophy and the national championship, been undefeated in the history. We came up with the names yesterday. One of them was
Cam Newton, Cam Newton and Matt Leinart.
Yeah, and Newton. So he joins that company. It was a storybook ending to a remarkable season that will now be one for the ages that this guy's great-grandchildren will be talking about, I'm sure, among others. And he was there at Pasadena to watch the Noles reign victorious over the Auburn Tigers 34-31. We're joined now by the sports editor, the Tallahassee Democrat, Ira Schofel. Hello, Ira.
Hey, buddy. How are you guys doing?
You tired?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
It's a red eye back on Tuesday night, and it's that'll jolt your system a little bit.
The old jet lag, huh? That coast-to-coast stuff is not easy. So I know I appreciate you taking some time. I know you've been worn out doing this the last couple of days, but since you've been kind of our resident expert here at the Seminole Station in Marion County, we thought only fitting for you to sort of put a little bow ribbon on the season by tying it together and giving us a perspective of this whole thing, which we didn't see coming. But boy, I don't know where to start other than saying it was an amazing football game. And I thought Jimbo Fisher did one of the great coaching jobs of turning the thing around when it looked like, as Brent Musburger said, it was a meltdown happening.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I think a lot of people took note of the fact that Jimbo was pretty calm on the sidelines. And that's something that, we saw all season kind of, I think this season, if you look back at Jimbo Fisher's career at some point, you'll say that this was the season kind of he grew up into becoming a real head coach. The first 3 years, even when they had success, the biggest successes were in recruiting, and then also, stockpiling some talent. But, there were a lot of times where we felt like, maybe he hadn't been through that situation before. Maybe he could have been calmer in that situation, or maybe, or tried a trick play here or there, or just done, you could second guess different things. This season, it seemed like he kind of felt more comfortable. I think he took a chance with that fake punt decision, which, you could say, well, he had nothing to lose at that point. Well, he had a lot to lose. If it didn't work, they could have been down 28-3. So, I just think he's not always going to be perfect, and I'm not saying he's got all the answers, but this season he was so much better as a head coach than during his first 3 seasons.
And as you said, the perfect time. Those are signature plays that people remember. They'll remember that fake punt for 100 years. It's like the punt Ruski, Of all the things Bowden did, they always remembered the punt Ruski, and the wide left or wide right stuff. But certainly, I just went back to the line that you wrote in one of your columns, and I saved it for this occasion. I thought this was really fitting. I was on a show in Denver today, and I said, if I told you when the season started that the new head coach of the Texas Longhorns would be Charlie Strong, and B, that Auburn would be playing for a national championship, and C, a freshman would win the Heisman Trophy, that we hardly knew, which one would have been the most unlikely. And I'm not sure which one was, but certainly the one with Jameis Winston would be right near the top. And I love this line you wrote when you said, "Just your tweet. Just dawned on me that I was explaining how to pronounce Jameis' name in a column like 8 or 9 months ago. What an incredible year."
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you think about it, this time like I said, in February or March, when FSU was playing baseball and he was getting to play some baseball, and then going into spring football, and we started to hear, you started to hear rumblings that, man, even though he's splitting time with baseball and football, this kid really gets it. He gets the offense, and he's kind of impressed the coaches. And then, I actually wrote a column saying, this is his name, this is how you pronounce it. And he was kind of so far under the radar, even though he was a highly touted recruit. I think we've seen so many guys get hyped in the recruiting process and then come in and not play, and you never hear from them again, or they kind of disappoint you. So people weren't sold on him and didn't know what to expect. He had that big game in the spring game, and I think that was a first sign. But I was talking to Lawrence Dawsey, who was obviously a great
receiver,
FSU and is receivers coach now. And he said that they didn't even know. And he said the Pittsburgh game, the season opener, when he went up to Pitt and played the way he did, almost flawless. I mean, basically, would have had I think he had one incompletion, and it was the guy was out of bounds. 1 or 2 incompletions the whole game. He said that was the first time they even the coaching staff realized, oh my God, this guy is something special. And then, again, early in the season, you kind of didn't know what happens when he plays tougher teams. Then he goes to Clemson and does it. What happens when he goes and plays a better defense like Florida is, and then he goes there and plays pretty well. And then obviously the first half was as bad as he's ever played. He was 6 of 15 in the first half, and then completed 9 of his last 10 passes, and he is named MVP and has a national championship. So really just an incredible season.
I called him James for about a month before I realized it was Jameis, and so how his name was spelled. And then I remember when Jimbo Fisher was here in Ocala, we spent 45 minutes with him on the radio one day, and I asked you about Jacob Coker and whether or not Winston was going to be able to beat him out And I thought he'd say, well, we'll see. The competition is open. But he made it pretty clear that Jameis Winston was going to really get the crack at it. But you got to remember, we going into fall camp, they were even, right?
Yeah, they were. And Jacob Coker, he's that was the thing. When you talk to people behind the scenes, they would say, look, both those guys may end up being first-round picks in the NFL. It's just a matter of Jameis. There's something about him. Jacob Coker looks like an NFL quarterback already when you look at him physically and the way he throws the football. But Jameis is one of those guys. I think what put him over the top is he's got that charisma that makes the other players kind of play at a higher level as well. And when Jacob even goes in the game, you just kind of don't sense that. With Jameis, he's one of those guys that seems to kind of bring everybody up to his level,
like Tebow did, and certainly that was a big factor in Tebow. You could tell when Tebow went in the game as a freshman, the whole stadium started buzzing just going in as a freshman. Winston also has that charming quality about him. Now there are people who say, yeah, well he's done all these terrible things, and this accuser's going to sue him and all that kind of stuff, what have you, and I get all that, but just as a personality, I've said this before and I say it again, I'm old enough to be able to say this. I saw Muhammad Ali when he was 20 years old. There's such a parallel between these two guys in personality, you won't believe it. Really, really similar. Smile, charming, could charm the birds out of the tree, the slightly braggadocious. Of course, Muhammad Ali was more than slightly. There's an element of that in there, but it's in not an offensive way that he does it. I like this kid. I hope I'm not judging him the wrong way by what I've seen, but I just like this kid.
Even, did you see, I don't know if you saw it during the pregame where they showed him walking into the stadium. They showed the players walking into the stadium, and he's got that swagger, like he's kind of strutting. I'm like, man, you're a freshman walking to the national championship game. You're right, he does. He thinks he's – and in fact, I asked him a couple days before the game at one of the press conferences, I asked him, I said, have you ever played any sport, baseball, basketball, football, any sport, where you felt like there was somebody on the field at that time that could do something you couldn't do? And he looked at me like I was crazy. And he said, no, never. He thinks no matter what sport he's playing, he thinks he's the best. And, I think sometimes you have to have that kind of approach in the game.
We're speaking with Ira Schofield, the sports editor at Tallahassee Democrat. Ira, Tom Schmitz here.
Hey, Tom.
You got Florida State winning a national championship. You got Gus Malzahn's a new hot item, coach of the year and hot item of offense. So there's going to be some attrition off of his staff. That's the nature of the beast. Somebody wants a piece of that staff so they can help them. How much attrition is going to be faced by Florida State and their coaching staff?
I think there's a good chance, they may have one or two. I think, the obvious one, I think Randy Sanders, who came in as quarterback's coach, he's been a coordinator before, and he came in here as a quarterback's coach because he was on that Kentucky staff that struggled last year, and he's another guy. He made a great comment last week that he said, Jameis has changed my life around. Randy Sanders said, last year I was a 2-10 offensive coordinator. Now now my quarterback is Jameis Winston, so he's made him a hot commodity.
A lot of truth in that.
So I think. And he's also Randy Sanders. They got him really cheap because Kentucky kind of had to pay him to buy him out. Same thing with Sal Sunseri, the defensive end coach. He was defensive coordinator at Tennessee for Derek Dooley. He got bought out, so they're paying a lot of money to him. So FSU got him really cheap. Those are two. I think they might be FSU's two lowest paid assistant coaches, but they got them cheap because those guys didn't need money because they just got buyouts. So I think those are probably the two that are most likely because they're coordinator candidates at other schools, and also they're not making much money at FSU right now. As far as Lawrence Dawsey, I think is building a resume as a potential play caller. He's done a really good job with FSU's wide receivers, but he's also an FSU guy. So I don't know if he has any interest in going anywhere else. And then they've got a couple other guys that came in kind of that didn't really have FSU ties, but came in for the opportunity. Charles Kelly, the linebackers coach, came in from Georgia Tech. He had an opportunity to possibly be defensive coordinator at another school. That may be an option for him at another school. And then also Jay Graham, the running backs coach, came in from Tennessee. And he doesn't have FSU ties. He just came here to kind of coach this talent and be around Jimbo Fisher. One thing FSU is doing, though, they're basically the administration gave Jimbo Fisher an extra $500,000 to spread among those coaches to try to kind of sweeten the pot to keep them if they can. But I would guess they'll lose maybe one or two of them in the offseason.
It's a really interesting question Tom asked there because it is a factor that's going to play in. I'll go back to the Florida staff, Urban Meyer, and he had 5 head coaches on that staff. They're out there now, and 2 others, Greg Madison, defensive coordinator at Michigan, and Billy Gonzalez, a wide receiver coach at LSU. So that when you win, that's a price that you do end up paying there for sure. What's funny about Jimbo is I had a big alumnus tell me last summer, Jimbo better get his act together. He can't keep his assistant coaches, That was what was so funny about that. So he's certainly going to turn that around.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think that's the whole thing. We saw him calmer on the sidelines. From everything we hear, he was calmer with the staff. And you can look at it one of two ways. It's a chicken or the egg thing. Is he calmer with the staff now because these guys are better coaches and he trusts them more? Or is he grown up and backed off, and is that why they get along better? At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is they do get along a lot better.
Well, you got one defection in the NFL at least, of. How many guys will leave that team early?
Well, actually, we know of 2 now at least. Timmy Jernigan and James Wilder.
Right.
And then I think Kelvin Benjamin, the receiver, he's only a sophomore, but I think he's going to go. And then they might possibly lose Devontae Freeman, another running back, but I think it may just be those 3.
Talk about our own P.J. Williams, defensive player of the game, tremendous interception. He looked like he was going up for a slam dunk on that ball when he went off. He skied on that baby. I've heard – and you know what? Jimbo Fisher told me this summer this guy's going to be legit. He'll be a high-round draft choice in the NFL, he told me. And he's playing like that. And their corners were such a key to that defense. Tell me about this kid, P.J. Williams.
Yeah, they love him. And like you said, when you were talking to him last summer, they were raving about him. He's an NFL. I mean, he's got an NFL body. Very sharp kid. Really works hard. I think they think they're losing a few guys in the defensive backfield. They're losing LaMarcus Joyner and Terrence Brooks at safety. But P.J. Williams and then the freshman Jalen Ramsey, who's I think going to move. He's played a lot of safety this year. I think he's going to move to corner, and those are going to be your corners next year. Those 3, they play a lot with 3 corners. It'll be P.J. Williams, Ronald Darby, and then Jalen Ramsey. I mean, that's going to be the best set of corners that they've had in a long, long time. I mean, they were good this year, but I think they feel like they're going to be even better next year. You saw his athletic ability.
Yeah.
P.J. Williams also is real physical. I think he's a guy they think is going to be a guy who plays in the NFL for a long, long time.
Can close and make the tackle like a safety. He's a corner. He can run as a corner. Final question for Ira Schofield. Thanks for taking the time. Tell us, Democrat. Have you had a chance to watch the game, the DVR of the game yet?
I have not. I actually have it, but I have not gone back and watched it.
Yeah. Well, because I want you to tell me after you watched it, what jumps out at you. There's some very curious calls in that game. Also some no calls that I thought were really, really bad. And the Big Ten, that's the Big Ten officials, right?
And the horse collar.
And the one, I believe it was the horse collar being one, that was the gun call. Then there was another one, the face mask was even worse.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen that on TV, look at that. That is a bad miss. That was a big 15-yarder. And then the call they did make on, I guess it was Freeman for taunting the sideline.
Yeah.
What a phantom call that. I mean, he did it, and he shouldn't have. You don't make that call in a game like that.
Situation.
You just don't make that call. But anyway.
But somebody made a good point to me that it may have worked out in their favor.
I know. I heard that.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving them any credit for that because they got it wrong, in my opinion. But despite that, Seminoles were able to win. And I got to give a lot of props to Auburn, too, because Auburn played what a final 4 minutes of that football game. As good as it gets. And, just remind me one more time, why did we get rid of the BCS?
We may be asking ourselves
exactly. Ira, it's been a pleasure to have you on all season. Thanks for your contributions to the show, and having a great off season. And we'll be catching up to you about spring game. And appreciate your insight to the team.
Sounds good. I appreciate you guys too. Take care.
All right, Ira Schofield. There's a steady guy right there. He's been great on this show. Great about coming on. Gets good insights. Offers. We learned something from Ira when he's on the air. That's what I like about it.
And he's as in touch to the program over there as you were when you were embedded with the Florida program.
More so, probably. But anyway, so, I'm going to tell you about my basketball experience. But let's take a break and come back, and I'll tell you about going to the O-Dome. What it was like up there, some things I saw that I liked, some things I saw that, I'm not really sure.
Didn't care for it too much, huh?
Well, I just don't know. I'm scratching my head going, what was that all about, or was it just me?
What was that song Prince about that Fresh Prince used to do, Will Smith? Things that make you go,
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I want to do. All right, we'll go next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Here in Florida, when you're looking to go to the beach, you've got hundreds of options. Theme parks, no shortage of options there either. But when it comes to home insurance, most companies have only one option. Allstate is different. Here in Florida, Allstate agents offer home insurance options from several companies, so they can help you get the coverage that's right for you. And they'll help you save on quality car insurance, too. For starters, safe drivers save 45% with Allstate. So before you settle for just one option, talk to someone with many home and car insurance options. Your local Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
For more information, call the McDonald Agency at 352-622-2333 or visit us online at themcdonaldagency.com.
Allstate has no financial responsibility to you for any home insurance policy you purchase and would not be responsible for any claims. Allstate does not make any representations or accept liability related to operations of home insurance companies, including but not limited to their financial conditions. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Renstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of two study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Renstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. Today will be mostly cloudy with a couple of showers, high 68 to 72. Cloudy and mild tonight with a shower or two. Patchy fog will develop late tonight and last into tomorrow morning, though tonight 60 to 64. Later tomorrow becoming partly sunny and warmer with a stray shower, the high 78 to 82. And for Saturday, clouds, some sun, breezy and warm with a shower and thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 77 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is Joe from Damage Control Services. Join me Tuesdays at 10:30 when we discuss what to do when your property gets damaged, how to fix it fast, and get back on track. At Damage Control, we specialize in helping home and business owners recover from damage caused by floods, fires, storms, tree damage, mold, and all other insurance-related disasters. So when disaster strikes, big or small, call Damage Control Services. Call me 352-817-6574.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Good credits, bad credits, it's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com, Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
So I got to admit, I get spoiled watching HDTV and sports, and sometimes it's hard to get off my sofa, my chair, and go up and watch the game. Last night, invited by Mrs. Griner, Susan Griner, to go up to watch the game and sit in the stands, which I like to do once in a while to get the whole flavor, because sometimes on press row you kind of get lost and you don't really observe what happens in the arena. So I went up as a fan last night and watched up close. And I got to tell you, the Gator basketball team is looking very, very good. And it holds out great promise, but there are lots of twists and turns in this season. And we saw another one last night, how quickly things can turn around. Even though Florida was romping over South Carolina by 23 points at the time. But before I get to the final 2.5 minutes, which was a scary moment, I got a feeling that I want to talk about this for a second. I'm wondering if when the air was let out of the football up in Gainesville, if some of it came out of the basketball program too. Because I don't mean this to be harsh criticism, because I still got a great spirit there in the O-Dome and the Rowdy Reptiles and all that stuff. It's very colorful. But it just felt like to me that buzz was missing last night, that real buzz. And when you look at them and see them play, they won their 24th straight home game last night. You wonder if maybe they're just taking Billy Donovan for granted just a little bit. And I asked myself the question, I wrote myself a note, is some of the sizzle gone? So here's what notes I made to myself. Crowd enthusiastic, but not frenzied. The band, the presence of the band, although I understand they moved there last year, not the same, because they used to be on the floor. The pep band was on the floor, the bottom floor. They're moved up one level. Why? Because they can sell the seats and get more money for them. Just like they sell press row now, half of it for the people to go sit there. And I get it, it's a business. The Rowdy Reptiles, they're some of the best fans in all of sports. Like the Cameron Crazies you hear about so much.
Right.
Up at Duke. They were good. They were funny. They did their thing, and they know exactly on cue what to say, when to cheer. But they seemed like they were good, but not quite so rowdy. Now, part of that is they weren't playing Kentucky. I get it, okay? So it's a little different. And South Carolina's not a very good team. I just felt like maybe there wasn't quite the edge there that I felt in the past. I don't know why. I could be proven wrong. The team is extremely athletic, and I love the way Casey Prather plays the game of basketball this year. Scotty Wilpickin playing top-notch basketball. Patrick Young has really had several games in a row where he's rebounded, scored a little bit, and has been a central figure. Will Ugette's playing well. But what happened with 2:30 to go is that Wilbekin, under the basket, fell. I couldn't see what happened exactly at that point in time, but you knew something was wrong when he didn't come up. And when he did come up, immediately trainers went and got him. He walked off with their aid right to the locker room. Couldn't put any weight on his leg. I believe it was his right leg. I thought, wow. Right about now, Billy Donovan's kicking himself for being up by 25 points or whatever it was with 2 minutes to go and keeping Scotty in the game. And he immediately took several players out and put his son in and put another player in. So I'm thinking, how unlucky can one guy get in Billy Donovan? So now the news is not quite so bad. Donovan says he'll see it's a sprained ankle, apparently not a knee, which I feared it might be. And so apparently if he's able to, I could see, because of the seats, I could see everything. I could watch him.
It looked like a knee.
I could see in the back, as he walked in, I had a view nobody had in the stands of what he looked. It looked like he was badly hurt. And I thought, man, of all the players to lose right now, you can't lose Wilbekin and you're starting your SEC schedule. Anyway, that was my take from it. O-Dome is still a great place to go. Fun to go. How's this? Got in the car, picked up Susan Griner, 6:05. Made the tip-off, ate pizza in the car on the way up at Susan Ball, watched the basketball game, stayed till the end, got in the car, and drove home, all in 4 hours.
That's pretty good. You were home by 10 o'clock, 10:30.
10 o'clock. Home by 10 o'clock, 4 hours. Now, the 4 hours is just a 1.5 for football, just about so.
That's really good.
Anyway, so that's what my take on it. It's going to be a really good team. They're interesting. I'm going to ask Franz Beard about it. That's my take. All right, one more thing before we go to break. Quote from Bobby Petrino. Want to hear this?
Yeah.
I've made mistakes. I've made mistakes both professionally and personally. It's something I'm not going to do again. The first mistake was ever leaving University of Louisville. I'm sorry about that. I hope the fans and everybody can forgive me for when I left there. It's good to be back home. Yeah, Bobby, I get it. That's not the real big mistake.
No. Real big mistake was leaving the Atlanta Falcons.
No, that wasn't it either. That wasn't it either. Anyway, I think it was, in all, I have a lot of respect for Jurich having the courage of his convictions. I think it's going to work for him. And sometimes you have to embrace those things to be a successful person. When everybody yings, you go yang, and you go the other way around, and we'll see if it pays off. I got a feeling that will. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Franz Beard will join us next. We'll get his take about the 5-star commit from Arizona. Actually, he was committed to Arizona and now has been flipped for the Gators and the defensive side of the ball. Also, his take on last night's game and the future that Billy Donovan's basketball team holds right now in basketball. We'll take a break, come back, more on Buddy Sports Page after this time out on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Keeping you in touch with Ocala. WOCA.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Hi, Carl Champley here. Join me every Saturday afternoon for DIY Live, your complete guide to getting that DIY project started and finished the right way.
And when you need the right product for that do-it-yourself project, visit the DIY Home Center outlet right here in Ocala, just 2 miles east of I-75 on Northwest 10th Street. From carpet to doors to real wood cabinets, visit the DIY Home Center outlet today and tune in to DIY Live.
That's DIY Live Saturdays right here on WOCA, The Source.
How good does it get? Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
My girlfriend didn't trust me, no. Yep, but she lost control. I wouldn't take the bait. I said, chill, baby, chill, baby, wait. My girl bust in, caught us creating the boom. She said, girlfriend, things that make you things that make you go things that make you go
Welcome back. We kind of missed this story a couple of days. I've had it on my list of things to talk about, and that's the A.J. McCarron controversy. His mother making a comment about Jameis Winston's language. And I thought Jameis Winston had a pretty cool tweet where he followed it up and got his point across without actually insulting anybody about, hope this English is working all right. But A.J. McCarron's mom apologizes for sending a tweet whenever she wrote, D.D. McCarron wrote during the Jameis Winston interview, am I listening to English? And then later on, apologized for what she said. So I'm sure that didn't go down too well with some folks in the community. But France Beard, when you get in the spotlight, all of a sudden everybody wants to take a shot at you, don't they?
Well, they do, and we got used to that around here with Tim Tebow for 4 years, and it seems like, somebody does something and they do it well, and somebody out there who's jealous or envious has to take their shots, and it's a shame that it happened here. It's sad. It really is. And A.J. McCarron's mom, I guess she's just bitter because he didn't win the Heisman Trophy.
Well, here's the thing about it. She said that, then she wrote, anyone that knows our family knows we are far from racist. My tweet was not in any way meant that way. I sincerely apologize if I offended. What did she think people were going to think, What do you think? And then LeBron James, conversely, he tweeted, unfreaking believable interview by Jameis. Just shows a part of the reason why he's so special. Reggie Bush said, love listening to this dude, Jameis Winston, talk after games. Walks and talks like a true champion. A great role model for kids to look up to. So it's the great cultural divide, Franz, is what it is.
Well, it is. And I put it to her one thing. I think she's just jealous. I mean, her son had all the attributes that you're supposed to have. He was at Alabama, was supposed to win a national championship, a third straight, and all this other stuff. And I think his mother was quite jealous, quite frankly, that he did win 2 national championships in a row, and yet at the beginning of the year, nobody really had him on their Heisman radar.
Exactly, including us.
And I thought I thought that A.J. McCarron did everything he was supposed to do. I think that in another offense, maybe he might have been the real deal that everybody would have been talking about.
Right. Real quick, Franz, before we run out of time, I want to get 2 things across real fast. Number one, let's talk about the 5-star flip. Apparently, this kid was going to Arizona. He's a 5-star corner. Jalen Tabor now has changed his mind and committed to the Gators.
Absolute stud. He will start from day one. And with Vernon Hargraves on one side and with Jalen Tabor on the other, I guarantee you the Gators will have corners that are as good as anybody in college football.
All right, quickly, column read it by Dennis Doyle on why Penn State shouldn't hire James Franklin. Go back and read it. Pretty controversial. And he mentions in there the reason why. He says because 4 of the Vanderbilt players were involved in a rape case. Cheap shot, legit, what?
Cheap shot. James Franklin's a good guy and a good coach, and he'll be a credit to Penn State. One other thing, DeMontre Harris is back on the team. Won't play this year, but Billy Donovan is showing again why he is the single best coach, period. Not just college basketball coach, period, in the game today, and especially in college basketball.
I saw him play last night. Impressive athleticism. They didn't shoot the 3 very well till the end. They started hitting a few. Scary moment when Scotty Wilbekin went down there, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Patrick Young seems to think that Scotty's going to be just fine.
That's what I'm hearing from Billy, too, so they hope. I heard his post-game show was there at the O-Dome last night, and I just can't say enough about the athleticism of this team. Casey Prather
I think he's become my favorite player.
Casey Prather is an absolute stud. I was talking to a couple NBA scouts last night who said that they wouldn't have given you 5 cents for his chances to make it in the NBA when the season started, but he's caught everybody's eye. Their comment, yes, he can play in the NBA, and yes, he will.
Fun to watch. Francis, thank you as always. We appreciate that. We'll get you on Monday at the usual time.
Thanks a bunch.
Franz Beard, our regular contributor to the program Monday. Thanks to John McLeod today. Jeff Halcomb, always fun to have Jeff on. Our Schofel, you just heard Franz Beard. Thanks to my big guy, Tom Schmitz, doing it all. Co-hosting, running the board, he does it all. I'm Buddy Martin on behalf of my broadcast partner, Tom. Have a great night, everybody.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mom who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800.
This is Austin Tavern reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
Hi, I'm Angie Lewis with Angie Lewis State Farm. Tune in every weekday from 5 to 6 for Buddy's Sports Page on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
WOCA, Ocala.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to technician Jim George. He's the owner of American Cable Services, and he'll be telling us what we can look forward to in the future of technology.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
And then John Horvath II will be with us. He's been on ABC News, C-SPAN, Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, and he's written a book called Return to Order: From a Frenzied Economy to an Organic Christian Society.
Join Kelly Fuqua-Hart and her guests on Ocala Magazine Radio.
And then Andrew Campanella is coming on. He's an outspoken advocate for providing all children with access to effective, excellent educational environments. He's going to speak about the 4th annual School Choice Week beginning Sunday, January 26th.
John LaPuma is a board-certified specialist in internal medicine. He'll be speaking about his book, Refuel, a 24-day eating plan to shed fat, boost testosterone, and pump up strength and stamina.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Hey everybody, this is Kelly Hart, your new host of the Ocala Magazine radio show. Join me every Friday at 10 a.m. when we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life with in-depth interviews from and about your community. So don't miss Marion County's favorite city magazine, Ocala Magazine, every Friday at 10 a.m. right here on 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Your home for CF Patriot basketball all season long. WOCA, The Source.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie just visited the mayor of Fort Lee to apologize for traffic jams in September that were apparently created as political payback for not supporting the governor's re-election. The mayor accepted the apology. Christie has fired a top aide and insists he knew nothing about it. Retailers singing the holiday blues. At least 7 have cut their earnings forecasts after a disappointing holiday season. The Dow fell 18. Macy's stock surged after announcing it will cut 2,500 jobs. If you had a flu shot or surgery, chances are you were swabbed with ChloraPrep. It was recommended to healthcare providers by the Safe Practices Committee of the National Quality Forum. The Justice Department says a co-chair received an $11.6 million kickback to endorse the product. Doctors are warning if Congress cuts food stamps, the government could be socked with higher health bills, with the poor ending up in doctors' offices and hospitals. This is ABC News.
If you're a homeowner who's faithfully made your mortgage payments, you deserve thanks for doing the right thing. And I'd like to tell you about a powerful financial tool that rewards your commitment. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. And the tool that I'm talking about is the Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. HARP is designed